Yo, YouTubers. Yo, YouTubers. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Oh, hold on, folks. You've got one watcher. We've got one viewer straight away. Brilliant. Identify yourself if you are someone I know. Can you hear me okay? I'm doing this because what's it called? Me audio interface, which is a Zoom studio, you know, a 24-track studio thing. It's playing up as an audio interface, so I did a live stream last night and I had to cut it short because, well, it was an hour like, but I had to get off because my audio interface was going on and off, and I can't be bothered with that at the moment. I'm going to have to buy a new audio interface, aren't I? But it's long overdue. Yeah, it's a bit dark, isn't it, man? I could do with some light to make it brighter, but I look all black, don't I? You know, can't help it, like, and that thing reflecting it, if it starts flashing and stuff, it's not intentional, you know what I mean? If anyone with epilepsy is watching and that thing starts flashing in the background, it's not intended, trust me. Alright. Yeah, before I get on, I'll just go and get me. I can't carry on. I can't carry on doing a stream without me magic stage pass. Hold on. Number one on the dog. PayPal donations, and you'll get one of these in the post. I'm only joking. Alright, this is a live stream. I thought last night, because I cut it short, I don't know who's watching, there's still one person watching. I can't understand this, guys, right? It tells me that someone's watching, right? It tells me that someone's watching, which is cool, you know what I mean? People want to watch anonymously. Cool, man, right? But it says chat rate 0, right? Because no one's chatted, right? Fair enough, right? And then it says playbacks, right? And it says playbacks, right? You know how many it says? It says playbacks 1, right? I've only just started the stream, haven't I, right, folks? Where's the camera? Oh, there it is, over there. I've only just started the stream, right? And it's had 1 playback already. Now, who on earth can play back a stream if I haven't actually posted it? I haven't published it. If my stream's going out now, live now, how can anyone have watched a playback when it doesn't exist? It hasn't even been watched. I haven't even posted it yet. I'm doing it now live. Yeah, there's a time check. UK, England. It's 20:57, right? That's 3 minutes to 9. On Saturday, the 10th of October, 2020, Anno Domini. That's AD. But anyway, yeah, last night my thing started playing up and that, like, and I thought, oh man, I've got to work out me. I'm no more electrical gremlins, you know what I mean? I'm fed up with doing all this business, you know. But how can anyone have watched the playback if I haven't even posted it? What's YouTube up to, guys? Is this some like kind of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure going on here? Like, and someone's like cheating time or something? Well, anyway, I thought I'd do a little speech anyway, because last night I cut it short and that, like. And I wanted to talk about, you know, I don't expect people to watch these live while I'm actually on. Like, obviously, I'm thinking a bit later on people can watch it, like, but I wanted to talk about dreams, right? Now, I've done some videos on YouTube. If you go back and check me, the reason I don't want to repeat myself on YouTube, guys, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about things that I've already talked about in earlier speeches, and there's some really interesting things that I'll put up, you know what I mean? Like, there's an early video called Silly Con, how the silly con, you know, silicon is conning everyone and stuff like that, silly con, you know. there's loads of little speeches there that are interesting. I'm never going to repeat them. I'm never going to come on YouTube and go like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm going to do a speech and repeat something, right? So my advice to anyone, you know, if you're into the speeches when I talk about stuff, like I say, scan through me, go right to the very beginning of my uploads and scan through them, and you might, you know, because I'm not going to repeat things, you see. So if you want to see some, if I've already spoke about something and it's interesting, right, check it out, right? But I actually do a speech about, I think it was called Are Our Dreams Real, right? Are Our Dreams Real? And I talk about how I dreamt about something 10 years before it happened. And I wrote it down in my diary like a dream journal. So I could check it out 10 years later to the day I found out it was 10 years later, the dream what I wrote down in a book. And 10 years later, it was actually happening in my real world, you know, in front of me. 10 years later. So that's an interesting speech out there on my channel if you want it. I think it says Are Dreams Real or something, right? And I think it's really interesting, and it sort of takes me onto this theme now where I'm just going to talk about some of me crazy dreams. I trust me, guys, I have like my dreams when I go to sleep. I'm like, it's like a movie, and I don't want to wake up. Do you know what I mean? I never want to wake up. I wake up in the morning and it's like I look up and I see my window above me bed and I'm like, oh man, I'm still here, like, you know what I mean? Every morning I wake up, I've been on an adventure, right? And now here's some advice I'll give to people. Reishi mushrooms, right, guys? You know, reishi mushroom. I buy these capsules on eBay. The powder, you know, it's reishi mushroom powder in capsules. And they make your dreams really lucid, guys. Honestly, you want to give it a try. And plus, there's all kinds of beneficial things to your brain. And it makes your brain more powerful, I'll tell you that for nothing. It's got something to do with making your brain more powerful. Makes you more active in, like, you know, it gives you kind of like a lively feeling, like, you know what I mean? There's no drugs, there's no side effects. It's just reishi mushroom, right? Reishi Lingzi, it's called in Chinese, Lingzi. So check it out, it's brilliant. It's like, you know, and I get these capsules and they're about 10 quid for like 100 capsules on eBay, and they're amazing, man, right? And they last for ages, but your dreams go weird, man, right? Now, before I even got into the reishi mushrooms, I've always had vivid, graphic dreams, right, guys? And this is going way back. I can remember dreams when I was a child, you know. Hey, it's saying we've got 2 viewers now, right? Saying we've got 2 viewers, but on below the thingy, it's saying 1 view. So have we got any secret agents watching tonight? Any FBI agents? Any CIA? Any Central Intelligence Agency? Hey, we got any Central Intelligence Agency or FBI? Any Federal Bureau of Investigation watching tonight? Hey, come on, you're all welcome. Let's see what you got to say. Let's argue. Let's argue on YouTube. Let's talk about things in the open so we can argue about it. But yeah, check out the reishi mushroom capsules, man. Now, I didn't get into them for medical reasons and all that. There's all kinds of they kill cancer cells. They do all kinds of things. It's amazing stuff, right? I'm not interested in that. I got into them because for dreaming, just for lucid dreaming. And I found out by taking them for dreaming, right? They've affected me body and me metabolism and everything, and my brain. My dreams are never going to be the same again. I know that for sure. I can't even remember them now. When I wake up, I have like this amazing movie. And I can't remember it. I can't write it down because it's impossible to describe. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I've had these crazy dreams for years, right? And I've been writing them down for a long time as well. You know, I kept a dream journal before I ever knew about dream journals. But I used to do it in diaries, you see. I used to keep a diary and I used to write my dreams down and stuff. So that's how I found out about all this stuff. And then years later on, I read Don Juan, you know, the Carlos Castaneda, Tales of a Pascoyaki Indian, you know. Tales of Don Juan, the Pascoyaki Indian. And that goes into like the art of dreaming, you know, like where you turn dreaming into a kind of like, you can control your dreams and stuff, like, you know. Really good stuff, man. Really interesting. So, if you're interested, right? But anyway, I have some really bizarre dreams, right, guys? And some of them are so accurate, right? They're so crazy, and it's like God is telling me what's going to happen in the future, or, you know, it's like the Spirit saying to me, like, someone's scheming about you, or I have dreams about people planning to rob me. You know what I mean? I have these reoccurring dreams of people trying to run away with me stuff, you know what I mean? I think, like, what are they playing at? Because they're not going to get far, are they? You know what I mean? To try and rob something from me, like, it's like wasting your time, really, like, you know. But anyway, I have these dreams and they tell me like to avoid things and stuff like that, right? Now here's one of my interesting dreams. I want to discuss it. Like if anyone comes on the chat, I'd like to know what people think, you see. This is why I want to share this dream. I want to talk about it. I want people's opinions on this one, right? Now it's written down in one of my dream journals. I can't remember what year we're talking about. Oh man, it could be 10 to 20 years ago. I'm not sure. It's a long time ago I had this dream, right? Really bizarre, right? Now, if anyone's aware of things, like fairies and pixies and hobgoblins and elves and all that kind of stuff, right? I've heard a lot of people say, you shouldn't trust that kind of realm because they're kind of cruel, you know what I mean? I mean, fairies in particular, right? Now, if you've ever seen the film Legend, and the devil, the character, he's supposed to be the devil in Legend. He's got little pixies that all do all his dirty work for him, hasn't he? And they run round and there's like a hobgoblin with a big pointy nose. He's like, black as the blackest witch, man, dark as the darkest pitch. They speak in rhymes and stuff, don't they? You know what I mean? But notice that the devil in that movie, he's got like, this is Ridley Scott's representation, isn't it, right? But he's got these three like little hobgoblin pixies, like little dwarfs or gremlins to help him out, hasn't he? You know what I mean? And they go round trying to kill the unicorn, you know what I mean? Kill the innocent unicorn. Take off his penis. Remove that man's penis. He's now a unicorn. That's what the whole master plan is. It's to actually, removing the horn of a unicorn is about removing people's penises and making them into eunuchs. Think about eunuch. A eunuch is a man who's had his tongue removed and his penis removed or his bollocks removed, right? So you understand the whole mishmash in the fairy world and the folklore world of like, there's a lot of mishmashes of like, right. Now, I've heard this said that like fairies and pixies and, some of them are actually good and some of them are trustworthy and all that kind of stuff. You know the score, right? I'm actually sitting here telling you the fairies and pixies are real, right? But what better cover in the world, right? What better cover in the world for like to cover fallen angels and demons, right? Do you understand? Say the world was littered with fallen angels and demons. They'd all be like little things, wouldn't they? They wouldn't be like 5'9", 6 foot people. They'd all be small, wouldn't they? Right. Now remember, there's no prejudice going on here against, if I was a dwarf myself, I wouldn't give a shit, basically, you know what I mean? I actually don't care either way. I see through these two eyeballs the way I always do. That's all that matters to me, like, right? But I've heard this said on many occasions. A lot of people say it, oh, you don't want to, people think fairies are nice and innocent and kind and all that, they're quite naughty and quite mischievous and they can be quite, ruthless, if you know what I mean. Now, like I say, what better cover for aliens, fallen demons, fallen angels or whatever than inventing all this poppycock about a load of little people living in the woods, or a load of little pixies that live in the woods, or a load of little imps, or a load of little elves all little in the woods. What better like cover story to cover like a load of aliens and demons, like, and just go, they're all just pixies and fairies and that, like, isn't it? Right? Because if these creatures or these particular entities are actually mischievous and cruel to people, naughty, then the demons, aren't they? How can it be good? How can it be good if they've got a reputation for making people's lives a misery? Do you know what I mean? Right. So you watch that film Legend and you see the red demon in it, the red devil, and he's surrounded by his little pixie friends and he goes, go out and do this, go out and do that, get the horn of the unicorn. You'll, whoop. Don't get an erection on the wrong place, guys. I'm telling you could lose it forever. They tried to take my penis. But anyway, right. This dream I had, right, I've just explained, right, that I think pixies and fairies and stuff, right, there's a mishmash of good and bad, isn't there, right? And I think it's a cover story. I think the devil's used that cover story, that the pixies and fairies and elves or whatever, they're fallen angels, aren't they? They're little demons, aren't they? And they come from under the ground. So they'll be in places where, in the countryside, in the woods or whatever, like, right? I've camped in the middle of woods and stuff. I've camped in woods on my own in dark, in the middle of Wales or whatever, in the woods and that. And, You can feel things and sense things around you that, you know what I mean? When you're on your own in the dark, in the woods, you kind of sense it, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, about 10 to 20 years ago, right, this dream, tell me what you think of this. There's 2 people watching at the moment, right? Tell me what you think of this dream, if you want to make comments in the chat, or later on after you watch the video and put it in the comments section. I'm really intrigued to know what people might think about this dream, because I've had some crazy, really, really prophetic dreams, guys, you know, where it's like, it's just hard to avoid, you know what I mean? I can't, like, help knowing something's going to happen or whatever, right? But this one, essentially, I wouldn't call this prophetic, but it was like, when I read the Don Juan books, he stated that all dreams are real. Everyone thinks of dreams being this, like, imaginary zone and that, like, you know, people who've been ritualistically raped, or given ketamine and seduced or made to dress up in women's clothes or whatever they do to people. You'll see all that in your dreams. You know what I mean? If we're all manipulated or hypnotised, or we're led somewhere we don't want to be, we'll see it materialise in our dreams. If we were ever taken to war and we were hypnotised or given a drug, we'll see it in our dreams. Do you understand? If our eyes are going to see something, it's going to materialise in our dreams, do you understand? Even if someone's hypnotised us to forget all about it, right? But in this particular dream, man, right, to picture the scene, I'm looking in this room, right, and there's a chair that looks like an armchair, right? Think of this little room, and there's this, like, little armchair, right? And sitting on the armchair, right, is, you know, the leprechaun, right? You see what I'm talking about? Like, these little, like, imps and elves, and, you know, they're demonic. They're not nice. They're not kind. They're little bastards. They're evil, right? If you give them an inch, they'll literally run rings round you, you know what I mean? Like the Gremlins, you know, the film Gremlins, the way they all go mad. Got to keep them away from water and everything, like. Right, but anyway, in this dream I see this leprechaun, right? A little leprechaun. You know, the leprechaun of, like, Irish legend and all that, like, you know what I mean? Now, I've got Irish blood. I've got, like, you know, I'm a quarter Irish, and I've got, like, Celtic stuff, and I see Celtic visions when I'm tripping and shit like that, right? So, and I know what is real in Ireland and what is, like, completely plastic. Do you understand? I call them, when I see things that are phony, you know, people go, oh, it's very Irish, yeah, right, yeah. But it's just plastic shamrocks, you know what I mean? They're just plastic shamrocks. They're not real. A real shamrock is a real plant, isn't it? You know what I mean? These are plastic shamrocks, man. And one of the plastic shamrock elements is the leprechaun, right? The leprechaun. The leprechaun. You know, they say children of the corn. You know what I mean? Corn, Sean, the corn, the leprechaun. Right. Now think about it. People hate it when things get corny. You know, people go, it's getting a bit corny, this, you know what I mean? So the leprechaun invented all that stuff, all that deception. Do you understand? You've got to realise why it's called corny for a reason, like. Right. You've got to have Irish blood to kind of, I don't know, kind of recognise what I'm talking about here, really, you know what I mean? I can't believe that my headphones just went from one ear to the other, and I don't know why, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, I see this leprechaun sitting on a chair, right? It's like I was a camera in his private room, and he doesn't even know I'm there, right? This is how the dream looked. I'm looking at him head on, and he's sitting in an armchair, the way I'm sitting in an armchair like this, right? And if you imagine my little feet there, that's me feet there going, and sitting there like, you know, if you imagine a little leprechaun sitting in a chair like that going, right, and he had a little hat on and everything, you know, with the little hat he wears and everything, you know, all the stuff you see in the why is this wires going from left to right in my ears? The sound's still on, isn't it, by the way? It went off last night and no one knew. I didn't know. Yeah, it's still on. Okay, right, so this leprechaun's sitting there, right, in this chair, right, and it looked real, guys. It didn't, this is what I'm saying, it was a dream. You know, I'm obviously dreaming, right? And I'm looking at this leprechaun thinking, oh my word, that's a real leprechaun. That's not just a midget or a dwarf dressed up in a movie or something, like. That looks like a real little leprechaun sitting on the chair, right? And he had a little hat on and everything, you know, the buckle and everything. And he's like, right. And the weird thing was, well, he had this woman, you know, this scantily clad, very attractive chick, right? Like a really fit bird, right? You know what us lads would say, a really fit bird, right? And she was dressed up in, like, what can only be described as scantily clad, you know, like suzzies and knickers and a bra, or, you know, like a sexy slinky underwear. So he's basically talking to this woman. She's walking around the room and he's going, do this, you slag. Do that, you slag. Pardon me language, guys, but this is the way the leprechaun was talking to this woman, right? And I sort of recognised her from me real life, but she wasn't who I knew her as, if you know what I mean. Do you get me? In my dreams, she was personifying someone I knew in the past, a female, an ex-girlfriend, I don't know, right? And you got to think of people being enslaved by these things, right? And they don't know it. But anyway, this girl, this like very attractive, sexy lady, right? Normal legs, normal size legs and everything. You know, she wasn't a leprechaun woman. Like, she's walking around this leprechaun, and he's going, "Do that. Go over there, you fucking slag. Do this for me. Pass me this." And he was basically calling the woman. He's calling the girl all these, like, disgusting names, you know what I mean? Like, being really rude to her and everything, right? And he's going, "Get over there, where are you? Come over there and do that. You know, shake your bum there," you know, like, telling her to do all, like, naughty things and stuff. Do you get me? You can imagine, like, a woman a bit daft or a bit slow, and she's being hypnotised by this leprechaun, yeah. I just basically seen him as a pimp. Do you know what I mean? I seen him, like, it just reminded me of a pimp, you know what I mean? But anyway, the Irish version, like, you know, plastic shamrock version. Right. But anyway, I talk with my Irish accent now, but it depends on which area you want me to talk from, you know. A demonstration of all my different Irish accents is on the way, alright? I mean, right, anyway, back to the thing. He's treating the woman like, he's calling her names, right? He's going, "You dirty little bitch." And he's just treating her like shit, basically. She's a sex slave, right, in this dream. She was a sex slave, basically, right? Then, all of a sudden in the dream, I remember watching this leprechaun, and he's saying these things to this chick, and he's just horrible. He's just so outrageously rude and horrible that in the dream I just went, "I've had enough." I just sort of snapped and went, "I've had enough. I'm doing something about this." And the next thing, I just ran into the room. I remember, you know, you see your own eye view in your dreams, you know what I mean? I see my own eye view running up to this leprechaun and grabbing him by the neck, right? You know, just... Yo, Julie, yeah, yo. I'm just talking about a dream I had about a leprechaun. Right, but anyway, it's from years ago. This is a very old dream, but I'm wondering what it's telling me, right? But anyway, in the dream, I've just spoke about, I'll do a recap in case. I've seen this leprechaun bullying this woman who I think I used to know in the past, scantily clad, you know, dressed sexy and that. And the leprechaun was making the woman do things for him, you know what I mean? He was going, "Do this, you bitch. Do this, you slag." He was calling her all kinds of names and everything. I was like, I've had enough, you know what I mean? So I stormed in. And I grabbed hold of this leprechaun, right? And I picked him up by the throat, you know, by his throat. It was, oh man, it was a proper violent dream. I don't really have violent dreams, you know what I mean? Well, I do have some, like, but that's another story, isn't it? But I picked this leprechaun up right out of the chair, and he was like that. He wasn't even heavy, you know what I mean? He was like picking up a feather, you know what I mean? I was like, picked him up like that. I went, "I had enough of you, you little bastard." You know, actually, I was actually cracking up with this leprechaun, you know what I mean? And I grabbed hold of his, you know, his chin, and I was basically wanted to pull his head off his body, basically, right? Now, the weird part was, like, when I grabbed hold of the leprechaun and I was ready to kill it, right? I was ready to kill this leprechaun, right? I was trying to rip his head off, basically, right? I know this sounds a bit violent, guys, if anyone's a bit, like, sensitive, but you've got to realise this is how violent the dream was, right? It was very violent. So I started ripping this leprechaun's head off, right? And his face is looking at me going, right? And his legs were like that, right? It's like, right? And the woman starts, you know, the woman's got, you know, Stockhausen syndrome. The woman starts going, "What are you doing? Leave him alone. He's our leprechaun." You know, like he was the king or something. You know, like she was actually trying to stop him. I've just been watching him treat her like shit, basically. You know what I mean? And I've ran in to stop. I've gone, "Oh, I've had enough of this. I'm going to kill this leprechaun." So I was pulling his head off like that, right? Pulling his head off. And the woman was going, "Leave him alone, leave him alone." I was like, shut up, I'm doing this for you, you stupid bitch. You know what I mean? I started flipping out with her because she was trying to stop me to, you know, trying to change my mind, like, because I decided it's time to kill the leprechaun, right? So I ripped his head off. He's a pimp. Yeah, there you go. I just said that. He was like a pimp. He was a leprechaun, though, you know, the real leprechaun with the little hat and everything, right? So I ripped his head off, right? I actually pulled the head off his body, right? I went, and then I threw his little body on the chair, right? And I was looking at his head. This is the weird part about the dream. You know, the weird part is, you know, just before you wake up, you know what I mean? When you just about to wake up. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, like. But the weird part was, right, I was looking at the leprechaun's head in my hand. You know, I had his head in my hands looking at his face, and his eyes were still open, right? He was still he was still actually, his head was still active, let's put it that way, you know what I mean? His head was like, right, he was doing facial expressions even though I took his head off his body, right? And I looked at his face, I was thinking, oh my word, why don't you just die, you little bastard? You know what I mean, right? And this is what I seen in his eyes, this is the weird part, right? I see this coin, right, this is just a piece of plastic, right? Right, you see that? With the dollar sign on. That's a plastic coin. I found that in a supermarket on the floor or whatever, you know what I mean, right? But if you imagine two of these coins spinning like that in his eyeballs, you imagine that? Can you imagine, see that? You see the dollar signs? Remember, S for Satan, you know. Why are dollar signs got an S on them? Well, anyways, it goes like that in his eyeballs. So if you imagine two gold coins, two of them going, and that's what I seen in his eyeballs. I was looking into his eyes as he was dying, as his head was dying. Two gold coins like that with dollar signs on, spinning round in his eyeballs, right? And then he just went, you know, like a till. You know, like when a till goes like, you know, like ding. He just went blank. His eyeballs just went switched off like light bulbs. He just went bing. And I was like, right, he's dead. And I threw his head on the chair, right? But he was pimping the girl, he was actually bullying her, he was calling her names, he was evil, man, he was absolutely evil, right? So, what I'm asking is, what do you reckon I was seeing a real leprechaun? Was that, you know, is the leprechaun real? Because you know the film The Leprechaun, they're like horror movies, aren't they? It's not like he's a friendly little creature, is he? They're like, you know, I know the guy, he's an actor who plays him, like, you know what I mean? He's just acting, like, you know, but they're hot. I've never been able to watch one of them films. I'd never be able to sift through it. It just annoy me, you know what I mean? Just like a leprechaun going around causing trouble, like. But if you imagine that was what his eyes were, man. That's exactly what they look like not the actual thing round the edge, the dollar sign. He had dollar signs in his eyeballs, man. I was like, has the whole of America been conned by this little... By the way, guys, I've got proof. So that's me little, you know, that's one of my dreams anyway. I've got loads of others to talk about, but that was very violent, you see. It was the violence in it that made me think, wow, is that like something real in the future or something like? Because I have had dreams that do come true, you know what I mean? I have a lot of dreams where I see it for real happening years later, you know. Like, it's, you know, the Salvador Dali picture, it's called a bee flying round a pomegranate 1 second before awakening from a dream or something. And you know, it's the famous Salvador Dali picture with the tigers, right? And basically that whole picture is, those tigers are basically bumblebees in the woman's head as she's sleeping, isn't she? And she's dreaming, and it's a bee flying around the pomegranate in the bedroom, but in her head it's like giant tigers. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what that moment before you wake up in a dream, and like, oh, you got the radio on in your bedroom, and you know, when you dream, you're dreaming, right? And then the song that's on the radio comes into your dream, doesn't it, or something? And then you wake up, you know what I mean? You think, hang on, the radio's on there, I heard that song in my dream there, like, you know, the pineal gland, guys, you know what I mean? That's the gateway, like. Do not abuse the pineal gland. DMT is a lie. But anyway, you know Doctor Who? I'm the Doctor, aren't I, guys, right? And if you don't believe me, is any of you out there don't believe I'm the real Doctor Who, like? You know everyone wondering who the real Doctor Who is. See what they've done recently? tried to change it to a woman doctor. Oh, give me a break. You know what I mean? The lesbian Doctor Who, give it a rest. But here's proof I'm the Doctor, look. Look at that, mate. Yeah. Put it by the microphone. I told you I was the Doctor. Look. That one's for medicine. Hold on. That one's to like zap people's memories. That's for medicine. And this is the weapon. I actually found that, believe it or not. Look, it's the Doctor Who's, you know, the Doctor's thing. Whatever it's, what is it called? What does the Doctor Who call that? Look. It does this weird thing, look. Here's your proof, man. Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader have got the lightsabers, but they haven't got one of these, have they? Hey? That's proof I'm the Doctor. Alright, man, back to the dreams thing, right? Why was I seeing a leprechaun in my dream, guys? And why was the woman was actually, like, protective. She was protective, even though he was treating her like shit. I mean, come on. It is the Stockhausen syndrome, isn't it? Anyway, so far so good tonight. Me what's it called? Audio interface. That's the description, isn't it? Now what you plug your microphones into and everything. Like, I'm having a bit of a problem with it. You see, it's going on and off and flickering and things, and I don't know what to do. Like, so, I might have to buy a brand new interface, you know, before I can start getting into these longer speeches and that. What else was there? I wanted to talk about, man, while I'm on, like, yeah, but is the leprechaun real, guys? You know, is the leprechaun real? And if so, is he horrible? You know, it says free viewers, right, at the moment, right? Free viewers. Playbacks, 10. Now, how can there be 10 playbacks, guys? How can 10 people have played back this video if I haven't even published it? Can anyone answer that? How can there be 10 playbacks? Philip Hall, Bleed America. Oh, Phil's doing his song. Oh, man, I can't believe he's on now. Well, he's... Philip Hall, Bleed America. I just got a notification, like, Philip Hall, Bleed American guitar cover. I'll just... That's weird, man. So that's why Phil's not watching. So I think we're actually up against some leprechaun of some kind, right? And yeah, watch the film Legend. You know, the film Legend, the Ridley Scott movie. It's a bit of an eye opener, you know, folks. That film, because the devil uses a woman to catch the unicorn, doesn't she? Doesn't he? You know what I mean? The devil actually uses the woman to catch the unicorn, right? And the devil's using all these little imps and elves as his little messengers. You know what I mean? They're like little pixies and elves and that, like. There's got to be good pixies and stuff, you know what I mean? Has anyone seen this picture I did a while back on... I'll just share a picture. I'll show you a picture. Yeah, I'm watching you on my telly, but I have to use my phone to type. Julie, just get yourself a PC. Do you know what I mean? For internet, it only has to be a cheap one, you know what I mean? Make things easier, get yourself a PC with a keyboard and everything. It's so much easier. Or, you know, the laptop, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, it's a pain in the ass. These bloody... Oh, you've got to get rid of them phones. Everyone needs help. I'm going to start a rehab clinic. All right, guys, I'm going to start a rehab clinic for, like, mobile phone users, and they go, like... I give them like this is a coaster that represents the phone, And they're walking around the shops and they're like carrying it everywhere, like, like, oh my word. Have you seen them videos of the American kids? Yeah, I still got my laptop, but it's so old I have to wind it up. Yeah, it's a clockwork. It makes things so much easier. I mean, how do you think I feel? I've got 2 screens and I've got my microphone and I've got to make sure the microphone works and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's a pain, man. Yeah, have you ever seen, hey Drew, have you seen any of the videos of the American kids when the parents pretend they've got them a shift phone for Christmas? It's usually American. I haven't seen any English ones yet, you know what I mean? It's usually Americans, like, but, you know, they give the kid the phone, you know, the box, like, and say, Happy Christmas. No. Check it out, just say, like, oh, man, what's the description? Kids, oh, man, angry at parents for Christmas, crap presents for, like, angry at parents for oh, I don't know what the description is, but you'll find it, you know, there's loads of them, right? And the parents, you know, they're like American mums and dads, and they're giving the kids presents, and they got a Christmas tree and everything, doing everything for them, yeah, right? And they get them a mobile phone for Christmas, but they lie to them and give them a cheapy one first, you know what I mean? To see how they react. And the kids are like, they're only like toddlers, you know what I mean? And they're going like, and you know the faces where they're not satisfied, where the parents are going, what's up, honey? Are you okay? Don't you like it? And they don't want to tell the parents that they don't like the phone. Do you know what I mean? But it's the reaction, man. They react horrible, man. Lola Samsung. See, someone, Sherry Vera's joined us as Samsung. Exactly, you know, like they give the kids like a cheapy phone, right? You know, like it could be a touch screen or a smartphone or whatever, right? And then the kids they don't want to actually show the parents that they're angry, if you know what I mean. They sort of go, and the parents are going, what's up, honey? Don't you like it? And they go, and they don't want to say nothing. The kids are like, sort of like, you know, like putting a false smile on because they know the phone's shit, right? And then when they eventually give them the proper phone and go, we're only joking, here you go, Happy Christmas, the kids suddenly change and start going, thank you, Mommy and Daddy, I love you. Do you know what I mean? If I had kids like that, mate, I'd sell them. But sell them to slavery. Check it out. It's annoying. But it makes you think. It makes you think. Just think about the future generations. Kids are actually turning on their own parents at Christmas because they think they've got them a substandard phone. Now that's like the Hitler Youth, isn't it? That's like, you know, at the Hitler Youth in Nazi Germany, right? And say your mum and dad didn't like Hitler, and we were growing up in a house, and my mum said, I don't like this Adolf Hitler dude, you know what I mean? And they find out, like, and they kill us all, you know what I mean? I got upset one year. I got a bike instead of a Barbie. That's a different thing though, isn't it? Like I say, I've had like where I was upset that me brother's cowboy suit was better than mine. I got in so much trouble. A bike's better than a Barbie. You can go on a bike ride. Yeah, but these kids, think about it. They're actually given a decent, like, it's a, you know, it's done like, it's done to trick them, obviously, you know, to see how they react. But because of the, you know, the nature of the joke, it's showing the kids actually turning against their own parents because of a phone. Think about it. It could be anything, couldn't it? It could be like a, I don't know, like I say, a bike or a toy car or anything. But because it's a phone in particular, it makes them go evil, you know, because they know that phone's not the latest, like the one that they want, or the friends in school have got one, like. I mean, I've seen someone recently talking about, you know, Liverpool Football Club recently have signed over to Nike, you know, the football kits. And they're sponsored by Nike, right? And the scouts is going mad on YouTube and stuff because Nike are charging £100 per football shirt. You know the actual shirts that the team wear when they play football. They're going for £100 each, right, guys? A football shirt. right? And loads of the people, the Scousers, are complaining because their kids have got to go to school, and if they're not wearing the right football shirt, they're wearing a cheapy one and not the proper one. They get stick off the mates in school. You know what it's like in Merseyside if we haven't got the right shoes on or right pants in school. So loads of Scousers are going mad in Liverpool because they can't afford the full kit, you know, the proper kit. And the kids are going to get ripped to bits in school because they wear rip-off kits. Oh, kids, little bastards. Do you know what I mean? I can't get it, like, I don't understand. Yo, Bruce, remember when you tried to get loads of people on the chopper near your flats? Yeah. I was actually with Philip. It was, remember the lad who I got stuck in the lift with, and I put the picture up, children trapped in high-rise flats. If people haven't seen that and they're watching at the moment, I'll put it up, shall I? But that was the lad. It was his bike. It was actually Philip's, the lad who was hanging around with. Like, it was his bike. It was his chopper, man. And I'm looking at the comments instead of looking at the camera. And yeah, he wanted us to be in the Guinness Book of Records, and there was about, I don't know, it was about 8 of us, or something like 7 or 8 of us on one bike, wasn't there? But like, yeah, we did actually make the record. I think we did anyway. Well, yeah, it was a Philip's idea. It was his bike, that, you see. It was his chopper, like. It was his. It wasn't my chopper, it was his chopper. Chopper. Oh, John bought a chopper. He never even used it, man. It was like virgin. You know what, John's chopper? It was like his working boots. It was like in a museum, mint condition. He didn't even use it, man. It sounds terrible. I don't know. He didn't use his chopper. Oh, man. See, that's proof I got a racing bike, didn't I? When we were kids, I chose a racing bike because it was cheaper, right? That's why I chose it. My mum had to buy them bikes out of the catalogue, right? You know, when John got a chopper and I got a racing bike, right? And I chose the racing bike because I didn't want my mum to have to buy 2 choppers and pay for them, you know what I mean? But when I got the racing bike and I rode it, and then I borrowed our John's bike for a while, I realised how stupid them choppers were, you know what I mean? But the person who wants the chopper the most is most likely to be the Hells Angel, isn't he? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Spot the Hells Angels in town, man. Just spot the Hells Angels. They all rode round on a chopper. Hells Angel kids, man. So anyone out there, anyone know anything about any leprechauns? That anyone seen the film Legend? Have you seen the film Legend? You see what I mean? It's oh, what's that noise then? Someone made a noise in here then. And the devil's got his little pixies doing everything for him, man. The Scarlet Beast. That's the Scarlet Beast. You know, the you know, the red creature, like. Okay. I think how long have we been on? 43 minutes, man. I haven't even been on an hour. I haven't got anything to talk about. I basically put this up to do a test and that, like. So anyone know anything about the... Hey, get into ricey mushrooms, everyone. It's the best advice I can give everyone. Ricey mushrooms. Ling Si. It used to be a secret in China and, you know, in the Orient. It was so highly regarded. They kept it a secret for years. And, man, my dreams are crazy now, honestly. I don't know what's going on. I have some weird dreams now, like. I hate waking... You know what? I get out of bed in the morning, right? And basically, most of my day, especially while all this lockdown stuff's going on and all this crap, like, I basically don't do nothing all day. I do a bit of creativity, a bit of recording or something, or make something or something. And in my head, all I want to do is eat me tea, have me munch, and go back to bed and dream. Do you know what I mean? I just want to dream now. I hate waking up. It's actually so boring and predictable, the world, you know what I mean? I prefer dreaming than that. Well, yeah, leprechaun dream. What else have I got? Another dream I can mention, like... But if you want to go back through me old videos, me uploads, it is called Are Dreams Real or something. I'm not sure the description, but I do talk about the dream I had in 10 years. I wrote it down in a diary, And 10 years later, to the day, guys, not just 10 years later, the actual day, 10 years later, I was watching television. And what I wrote down in my diary was on television. I was like, hang on, I'm having like deja vu here. And then I went upstairs and got my diary and I opened it and it said, some guy was singing like Neil Diamond on the telly. And it was actually happening while I was reading it in my diary. But I was looked at the date and it was like in 1984. And it was 10 years to... It was 1994 when I was watching the telly and seeing this guy singing like Neil Diamond. Stars in their eyes, I was watching that, like. And then I found my diary and checked it and I wrote in the diary, 10 years earlier, had a mad dream that some guy was singing like Neil Diamond on telly. I didn't say had a dream that Neil Diamond was on telly. I actually said in the dream, in the description, had a mad dream about some guy singing like Neil Diamond on telly, right? And then Stars in Their Eyes comes on 10 years later with a guy singing like Neil Diamond. Do you understand how can anyone predict that in 10 years' time, man? You know what I mean? It's impossible, isn't it? Unless you're psychic or, you know, I don't know. I never call myself a prophet or anything like that, you know what I mean? I've never been on, you've never seen me on YouTube going like, Bruce the Prophet. You listen to me, I'll tell you everything. Oh man, what a load of bollocks when people start going off their heads and prophesying and stuff and they haven't got a clue what they're talking about, you know. But dreams, it's more personal, isn't it? It's obviously geared to your own personal existence, isn't it? You see, that's what dreams are like, customized, aren't they, to your own vibe, like. Have you seen the video on my channel, Jewel, of the American girl falling asleep on a live stream? Rachel Reenstra. Have you ever heard of Rachel Reenstra? Rachel Reenstra. She's a comedian in America. And she's quite famous. She's been on television and stuff, but she's a YouTube channel is hilarious, you know what I mean? She does like... But she fell asleep. I watch her do live streams, you know. Usually her live streams are on in the morning when I've just woke up, do you know what I mean? And I woke up the other day and she was doing a live stream. She was in America live. And she fell asleep on camera and I filmed it, you know what I mean? She actually fell asleep. So she went like this. She goes, have you seen it? Yeah. What was that about? I didn't really understand what was happening. Yeah, she was actually doing a live stream, right? And she was actually on screen talking. She had a video on the screen, but you know the video where you can, you know, when you can actually see it on the thing. I've got my camera zoomed into a square about that big on the screen. Do you get me? I zoomed the camera in to the little heroine. Look, you're the second person. You're the second person who said that. You know, someone said that to me the other day. I showed that clip to someone and he went, that's heroin, that, when people just black out like that. And I was like, nah, it can't be heroin, you know what I mean? Because she's like, you know, unless she's being pimped or, you know, being slaved, what do you call it? Sex kittened, MK Ultra. She might be being sex kittened and she doesn't know it, you know what I mean? Because she's a very attractive woman, you know what I mean? She's a proper fitty, like. But she makes me laugh, she's really funny, like, you know what I mean? But watch the video, right? When she falls asleep in a room, right? She falls asleep on the floor. There's no one else in the room, right? She's on her own. She's supposed to be on her own with a dog, right? She falls asleep on camera and falls off the camera, right? You see that bit, right? But you can hear, you know the cream. You know when people shake cream? You know them canisters of cream? Well, the girl, Rachel herself, she was spraying she has these tonic drinks, right? What she drinks on camera. There's some kind of drinks that got tonic in them, like it's some kind of American drink, right? And they must have all kinds of herbs in them and things, right? And she squirts cream in it for some reason to make it taste nice. I don't know. So she's drinking that on the camera. That's what she's drinking on the camera, a tonic, right? And she sprayed the cream into the glass, right? But you know when she was doing the live stream, you can hear the can going. You know when she's doing her drinks, right? The eerie thing is that this is the eerie thing about it. When she blacks out and falls asleep on camera, she's obviously out cold, isn't she, right? She'd normally switch her computer off before she did that, you know what I mean? She'd normally disconnect from the internet and switch it all off, wouldn't she, right? But because she fell asleep on camera and left the camera rolling, and she's on, you know, her private quarters are on camera, you can see the room, can't you, right? but you can't see anyone on camera. But you can hear the cream thing going. Someone's spraying the cream in the room. Do you understand? That's why I actually put it up. I was trying to alert her. I was trying to say to Rachel, because she does speak to me, you know, when we make comments and that. She does get back to me and comment to me, you know, she's actually very communicative, you know what I mean? But she's a proper comedian. She's a professional comedian in America. She's funny as fuck, you know what I mean? But when she blacked out on camera, right, she falls asleep on camera and the dog's trying to wake her up, isn't it, right? But you can hear she's out cold asleep, but you can still hear the, do you know what I'm talking about now? You can still hear the can in the room. Someone's spraying cream in the room off the camera. Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to show. That's why I put it up. Wasn't taking the mickey out of her or anything, you know what I mean? Because think about this, right? While the live stream was on, she fell asleep, right? And because she fell asleep, she left stuff running that was copyrighted. Do you know what I mean? Loads of things were just running on a channel on the big screen. I've zoomed into the little corner, then, you know, her face in the corner as she fell asleep, right? But she left all kinds of things running when she fell asleep. So eventually YouTube, you know, if you put stuff up on a live stream, it's copyrighted. YouTube just block it, you know what I mean? So eventually that video went down and it was all taken off. You know, none of us could have watched it again or watched the replay. If I hadn't filmed that clip when I did, I filmed it while it just happened. I'd done a rewind while it was on, while the live stream was still on. I went, wow, she just fell asleep. So I rewound it and then went, let's film it for proof, you know, if anyone misses it, like. But by accident, I've caught there's something creepy going on there because there's someone in the room making noises with the cream, with the square cream, you know what I mean? That doesn't sound right, does it? Some attractive woman in America falls asleep on, you know, remember, she's usually used to switching the computer off and everything. It's late at night where she is. It's in the early hours. You know, she's like bedtime, do you get me? Whereas I'm first thing in the morning when I'm watching her, usually on doing the live streams. So I captured something there to show people, like, and I was saying, can anyone see anything strange going on here? Like, you know, when the live stream was still on and we were all putting comments, we were all like, when she fell asleep, right, you know, the chat, it was like, Rachel, wake up. And I was like, wake up, Rachel, you're okay. And we all thought she could have died, you see, do you get me? You know, none of us knew she was just sleeping until you start hearing her talking in the sleep. You hear her going, like, but we were all going, Rachel, wake up, you know what I mean? But I got the creeps right because in the chat section, someone put something saying, lovely squirty cream, Now, do you understand where I'm coming from, guys? Now do you know what I'm talking about? Someone put something in the chat section about cream. Do you know what I mean? I thought, hang on, something not right here, it doesn't add up, like. And she's out cold, she's on the floor asleep. And she hasn't got a clue that she's left the camera running, has she, you see? But whoever could have been in that room watching her or something, I don't know. She might not be alone, might she? She's not telling anyone, I don't know. She might have someone there and she's not telling us, you know what I mean? But I assume she thinks she's on her own. And if that's the case, that's something really creepy, isn't it, guys? You know what I mean? Watch the clip again, you know what I mean? I'm the only one that posted it. Because when I filmed it, it only just happened. Do you know what I mean? I was fast enough to grab my camera and go, oh my word, let's rewind that and film it before it gets taken down, you know, and it got taken down. So I've put it up there, Rachel Reenstra falls asleep on live stream, you know. But she's actually friendly with me, you know what I mean? When we speak to each other on YouTube and that, like, she's actually a good laugh, like, you know what I mean? But, you know, she's a very attractive woman, right? And there's got to be men doing her head and left, right and centre, if you understand, you know. I love being an ugly fat bastard. It's hey, being an ugly fat man makes life far much easier, like. So yeah, do you get me what I'm saying? How creepy it is. Watch it, see how creepy it is. You can hear the cream carrying on, and I'm thinking, is that being recorded in the background? And it's been, you know, is she okay? Yeah, she woke up the next day, right? And she said you know, when you posted a live stream yourself, you can actually check the in your own account, you can go back to your videos, can't you, what you've uploaded? And she probably had the ability to watch it before it was like, you know. And she woke up the next day and everyone was like, are you okay? And she's like, oh yeah, I fell asleep. And she said, I was laughing, I had a really big laugh when I watched it the next day. You know, she watched herself falling asleep on her own account, you know, because you can replay it. But everyone else couldn't watch it again, you see. If it wasn't for me filming it, you wouldn't be able to see it. Do you understand? So she laughed at it, yeah, and she's put videos up since. You know, she has spoke about it, like, she said she talks about it like she fell asleep on live stream, you know what I mean? But it's funny, you've seen the way she does it, like, she does this thing with her teeth, right? She goes, she has this face, she goes, but, you know, Sherry Vera, why do you say heroin? Why do you think it's heroin? Because someone else said me, someone was here yesterday and I showed them that clip. And he the first thing he said, he went, heroin makes you do that. And I was like, oh my word, she's not into drugs. She might be into a bit of this, a bit of that, you know. She's from Los Angeles, do you understand, guys? You know what I mean? So, but she moved out of LA because it got bad. You know, she's in like a kind of, what's the word? Oh, what do you call it when you away from everything in the mountains? They always fall asleep like that. Yeah, but you wouldn't like. Let's just suppose, and right, say someone was a closet heroin user. You wouldn't take a hit and then go on scream, would you? Live scream. You know what I mean? Look, man. I go like this, like I'm sitting here like the opiate pills. Well, yeah, medication mixed with alcohol or something, couldn't it? Right? I think that, like, you know what I mean? But imagine me, like, I go like, excuse me, guys, I won't, you know, if I disappeared off the camera, right, and you just go, hold on a sec, I've just got something to do, hold on. You'd start asking questions. then I go like, oh, I feel a bit tired and that, like, you know. Was she chatting with someone live then? Yeah. Well, she wasn't actually chatting with them, right? She was talking on camera in the microphone kind of thing on the screen, right? And in the chat section, on, you know, like we've got our chat section now. In the chat section, everyone was saying things like, while she was out cold, everyone was like, wake up, Rachel, you're okay. But there was a couple of creepy comments that said something, went, oh man, I can't remember the exact words. That's what I needed to trace, you see, you know what I mean? Because I was like, whoever typed the comments could have been some kind of creepy, let's just say, rapist. Or, you know what I mean? There could be people going around taking advantage of people and we don't realise it, you know. You know, a lot of people, they think they've been abducted by aliens, right? They think they've been abducted by aliens and they've been anally probed and all that. Like, they've been raped. They've just been raped. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like date rape or drugs and that. You know what I mean? People do that. People go around and that's the only way. That's the only thing that will turn them on, basically. You know what I mean? They can't get on with the real sex life anymore. You know what I mean? Sherry saying lol. You know, we got to be like, there's a lot of crazy stuff and people think of aliens, don't they, right? Now, don't get me wrong, fallen angels, demons, we've been around that block, you know what I mean? I think that's what they are like, you know. I did a mad little speech about it, didn't I? You know, the film Fire in the Sky. They've got this thing about sealing them in bags, haven't they? When they're actually in, you know, when they're boiling the bag food in it, mate. Turning us into food. Yeah. Okay. Was she chatting with someone live then? Yeah, that's basically what was going on. She was just talking and but people put comments in constantly, yeah. And then what she does is, you know, if you put something in the chat and she likes it, she puts it on the screen. If you watch some of her old videos, right, there's some live streams and I'm actually on live watching her and I put certain things and she puts it up on the screen, you'll see like roller coaster ride with the comments, and she puts it up on the big screen, so there's a bit of interaction as well, you know, when she's actually on. she replies to you, and so she's not like some kind of dub or something. Everyone was accusing her of being a shill, a YouTube shill and stuff like, and I can't see that myself, you know what I mean? I was thinking, nah, she's worked in the movie business, the entertainment world in Los Angeles, like, and she knows stuff about everyone, you see, do you get me? Like, so, you know what it's like. They don't want people knowing about Hollywood, do they? It's hot. Well, that's her neck of the woods, Hollywood. You know what I mean? You couldn't get a worse place, could you, to grow up, really? In Hollywood. And the nominees for the Best Supporting Actor: Bruce Williams, The Doctor. Best Supporting Actor. Here's a bad one, guys. Remember what I showed you? Does anyone know what I'm talking about here? You know my video last night? I put the video up and I showed that little advert of the the irritating man sitting. Think about this, right? The advert I showed, Go Compare, the Go Compare advert, right? And you see that lad, the creepy looking, he looks like a creep, the lad on the advert, right? And he's the same lad on the advert where the guy's kicking his underpants off and they land on his head, right? Well, on the Go Compare advert, he goes like that, doesn't he, on the screen? He goes, it was only a tenner, and everyone looks at the white cup, that like what we look. This stuff's ceramic, right? Ceramic, right? You need to show the Doctor in full. I know I can't copy it yet, you see, Jules. My program, when I try to copy it, it stops me and says, this is copyrighted material. You know what I mean? It's my video, isn't it? Someone's done something to the videotape or something, you know what I mean? VHS Chronicles. But anyway, this is ceramic, right? The point I was making last night when I showed that advert, and I was saying, notice the way he goes like that with the cup on the advert, so you got to look at it. You got to see a white cup, because it's like ceramic, right? Ceramic, the stuff ceramic. It's kind of like, Now, it's the nearest thing to cocaine. Like say, you know what I mean? Like as an eye catcher, as an eye catcher. Let's just suppose this cup was made of cocaine, right? Some artist or something made it for me, right? And I do like that on camera, right? I go like that, and then I take it off the camera like that, or an advert comes on your television screen for 5 seconds, because, the Go Compare adverts are only like 30 seconds or something, aren't they? You know what I mean? And then you see a guy going like that with a cup and it goes off. Now imagine the cup was made of cocaine. Do you understand what the crime is, what they're doing? They're using a drug, a substance, to catch our eyes as viewers, right? Now here's the interesting thing, right? They've got the whole, I'm not being like anti-drug or I understand recreation, I understand people getting off their heads and that, like, but I think the whole cocaine matter is they're snakes that are trying to take over the world. I've never heard of anyone who gets into cocaine and has a nice time. I'll see you later, gotta pick up hubby. Alright, thanks for watching, Sherry. Have a nice day. As they say, have a nice day. In Canada. It's Canada. Yeah. Right. So if I was trying to catch people's eye, with say I held down the screen, you just seen it for a second and it went off, right? It's called an eye catcher, right? It's called an eye catcher, right? Now here's the weird thing, right, guys? I didn't know anything about this, right? Now recently I had a tap that started leaking in my bathroom, right? This is where it gets kind of strange, like. I had a tap that was leaking in my bathroom. I don't know if you've ever had a tap in your bathroom, when you sink, and it just constantly drips water, you know what I mean? And no matter how much you tighten it up or the screws, it won't stop the leak, right? And because it was my hot water tap, my central heating system is designed so that, like, when I turn the tap on for hot water, that tells you how much is being used, and it gets calculated, do you know what I mean, on the little meter on the wall, right? So it was like leaking a lot of hot water through my tap, and obviously that was gonna like take a bit of money out of me thing, you know what I mean? It was like taxing me, like. So anyway, eventually, I tried everything. I tried tightening up the tap myself and all that kind of stuff, and it wouldn't work right. So I contacted the council. I said, me tap doesn't stop leaking. Basically, it's dripping all day, and it's running hot water and wasting it, basically, you know what I mean? So they sent some fella out, right? And he took the thing out. He took the actual, I think it's called a cartridge inside the tap, right? Now here's the interesting part, right? He didn't take, the one he took out of the tap that was knackered. He didn't take it with him. He left it on the shelf in the bathroom. Do you get me? Like, so I could have a look at it. You see, you know me, like inquisitive and that, like saying, oh, I wonder what's going on here with this little piece of cartridge in the tap. This is in everyone's bathrooms, by the way. Ava. Well, as I only tuned in about 20 seconds ago, I don't know what I have missed, but I already intrigued where this is going. Yeah, okay, welcome on board, Ava. It's our raver. Yeah, well, anyway, I got the fella out in the council, and he took the cartridge out of the tap, right? Now, we're not plumbers, are we? We don't know nothing about taps, do we? You know what I mean? And you think that inside the tap, right, a simple tap, you think it's just going to be like a thing that opens and closes, like you know what I mean? You just think of a valve, don't you, or something, right? I took this thing apart. I looked at the bit, he took it out completely and replaced it, right? And it's called a cartridge, right, inside every tap. And in the middle of it, right, I'll show you it on the screen, was this. Right. And it's in two parts, right? You see, look how white that looks. You see how white that is? I mean, I'm on a crappy sort of webcam, really, you know what I mean? But you see how pristine and white that is? Hold on, let's get it in the middle. You see that, right? And there's the other half. Right. These are in the middle of everyone's taps in our bathrooms, right? Okay. Now, it's like a gate. It's a gate. Right. And you see the bits that are open there. They're the openings, right? And I'm going to try and show you on camera how it works. They go together like that. Now, you see, right, when you turn the tap, that opens, you see? And when you turn it again, it closes. Right. Now, listen to the sound it makes, guys. Do you get me? It's ceramic. It's like this mad ceramic, right? And basically, I know I've been around, you know what I mean? I've met people, I've seen people, I've spoke to people, I've been in the world of madness and recreation and everything, but that looks like the purest cocaine I've ever seen in my life, basically. That's like, right. Now, the point I'm making is to everyone is, they're in everyone's taps. Everyone's bathroom has got these ceramic things in the taps like that, right? You know what I mean? And that's what the water goes through. That's a gate, basically. That is basically a gate. I'll show you it again, so you know what I mean. So do you understand the water's going through them constantly? This you don't even need it. I don't understand, right? Now, the reason this tap broke, this stuff, right, that's like a really smooth surface on that side, and it's so good. Watch, man, when you rub them together. So I go like that. It literally super glues, it stays on, look. It's so smooth, the surfaces are so like silky smooth, like silicone. Right. And apparently when I read up about why this malfunctioned, they put some kind of lubricant silicone on it to keep it like lubricant. And if the hot water wears it away over time, it's not going to be like as sealed as it's supposed to be, and the water will leak through anyway. I don't understand why bother putting these in our taps, right, if they're not going to last forever, you know what I mean? Right. But doesn't that look like, obviously I'm not expecting people to be involved with people, but I've been around and I've met people and stuff, you know what I mean, right? But that's like everyone's bathroom, everyone's taps has got like the equivalent of like, it just looks like the purest cocaine you've ever seen in the world. You know, instead it's it's if I smashed that with a hammer and made it into powder, it'd just look like cocaine, you know what I mean? But it's probably, there's nothing in there. It just resembles it, doesn't it? Hiya, Bruce Ladd, Ian Saxon. Yo, all right, Ian. How you doing? We've got 4 viewers, man. Hiya, Bruce Ladd. Where you from, Ian? Years ago, they were all copper, so you can imagine all the rust. James, exactly. There's, you know, they used other things. Oh, Hartlepool. Okay, man, you're welcome. Way, Hartlepool, that's a new one for me, mate. I've never spoken to anyone in Hartlepool before. Everybody, where are you from? What are you drinking? I'm only joking. My playback says 22 at the moment. How can anyone want to watch me video? How can anyone play it back? Unless someone, like, plays it back. How can anyone play back my video when I'm actually live streaming it now, guys? You know, here's a time check and proof from live streaming. You know, obviously, it's 4 minutes past 10 on the 10th of October. 4 minutes past 10 UK time. But do you understand where I'm coming from, guys? These things are in our taps, in our bathrooms, right? These little white ceramic, like, valves, man. And to me, it's like a gateway made of cocaine. There's something very strange in our bathrooms. Tiles as well, you know, tiles. I hate you know, when they did this flat before it was modernised. They've modernised it, you see, and put tiles in the bathrooms and everything, you know what I mean? I've got no interest in all that, you know what I mean? If I had a scruffy bathroom and had no tiles and nothing, it was just like old school, I wouldn't care, as long as I can have a shower, you know what I mean, right? But I think tiles are connected to cocaine as well. I think the overlords are really trying to... If you ever watch films, you know, every film you watch about cocaine addicts, they don't have a good time, do they? They always have you know, one of my favourites is, you know, Goodfellas, you know the film Goodfellas. And there's a classic scene, you know, where, what's his name, Ray LaMotta or whatever his name is, he's getting heavily into it, isn't he, you know what I mean? And there's a bit when he knocks on Robert De Niro's door to sell some shady guns, you know, he's getting desperate and he's doing everything to get the money, isn't he, you know what I mean? And he says to Robert De Niro, you know, you want to buy these guns, you know what I mean? Robert De Niro goes, oh shit, they don't even match. What do I want these for? And then he looks at Robert De Niro and he goes, and you want to stop doing that stuff, it turns your brain to mush. It will turn your brain to mush. That's coming from, like, you know, what's his name? Scorsese. You know, Scorsese is a man that knows, man, you know what I mean? All these guys in that realm, they know this stuff, man. And in a film, if a film tells you the cocaine turns your brain to mush, then people should listen and realise that it turns the brain to mush. If Robert De Niro says it turns the brain to mush. Right. But the thing is, right, even if you're not into it, right, even if people aren't into it, even if people are squeaky clean, they don't have anything to do with the underworld or the drugs world or whatever, right, we've still got these things in our bathrooms, mate. And I think even if you're not even involved in the drugs world, they're trying to enslave us all, you know what I mean? Even if we're not bothered about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always remember, like, when the gay chat line phone things were coming on our telly screens. I've recorded some of them, haven't I? You know, if you check out some of my all the videos of the adverts, that's why I put them up, guys. I'm not putting them up because they're old adverts and I'm like, want everyone to see them. I want you to see how creepy British television is, right? And you can see it when you watch our adverts, you know, especially like gay chat line, speak to anyone, hook up with anyone, all the gay people on your phone. Whoa. Now, do you remember all that coming in first when it all started arriving? You know, it actually... There was rumours that, remember the Red Hot Dutch channel? They were actually going to put it on British TV. Do you remember that, guys? And it got back, and the government said no. They were like, no, we don't want the... I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, because the television, the way it is and the way the world is, it doesn't matter anyway, does it, right? But Red Hot Dutch, at the same time, and all these like telephone lines were all going like, you know, speak to other gay people, blah, blah, blah. While that was coming on, so remember, it's all about telephones, remember? It's all about using phones to make money. Them phones make money, do you understand? It's like a fairground or a slot machine, right? Now, you got to think about this, right, guys? You know, years ago when I had an ex-girlfriend, when I was living with someone, and I was trying to get a band together, and I contacted this lad who played keyboards, right? Darren, his name was. Darren, the keyboard player from Wallasey, right? And he said he wanted to join me band. This was when I used to rehearse in Wallasey, and, you know, Tony Mraz was in the band and stuff, you know what I mean? When we used to be Momentum, the band was called Momentum. And this guy wanted to play the keyboards for us, man. So he came to an audition, he came to one of the rehearsals and stood in and watched us play, right? And he didn't even play the keyboards or nothing, he just watched us play. And I gave him a cassette tape, right? And then later on down the line, he said to me, my dad runs a sex line, you know, like chat lines for, you know, sex telephone company. And if your girlfriend wants to do any work, you know, ask her if she wants to work and she get paid well and that, like, you know what I mean? I was like, hang on, do you want to play the keyboards in my band or do you want to shag me bed? Do you know what I mean? I was like, what's this all about, mate? Your girlfriend, would you want her to do a chat line? Do you know what I mean? Well, so this guy was obviously something, he was connected, he was a keyboard player, right? His name was Darren, but he was connected to the sex trade, you know, the chat line, the trade, you know, the people who run them telephone companies. And then we're getting all these like, hey, you want to speak to other gay people and all that kind of crap, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, there's an invasion going on here, right? But what gives the game away is the fact that, you know, when the Red Hot Dutch company wanted to do Tony the Animal Drummer, I witnessed Tony choking on a peanut and he coughed it out. It bounced on the carpet. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, well, when we were in, that was the band, we were doing that at the time, and this lad, he was basically interested in, all he was interested in, think about it, he was sneaking around after my ex-girlfriend, you know what I mean? He was asking me to get onto a chat line, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, and then soon after, what happened soon after that? I split up with my ex because she started seeing someone else, and he was involved, have a guess what he was involved in? Cocaine. Do you know what I mean? Like, look. Here it comes. Here comes the big white demon. You know, yeah, you know, trust me, guys. You know, it's weird. You know how you know cocaine's shit? Do you want me to tell you how you should know cocaine's shit? If it was worth doing, I'd buy it myself. Well, do you know what I mean? I'd be buying it. I'd be actually sitting there going, oh, yeah, that's how you know it's shit, because I don't do it, like. Was it salted or dry roasted? The peanut, not the dog. It probably tasted of nicotine, because if it was Tony's, you know, he probably, it tasted like Golden Virginia. It was probably Golden Virginia roasted peanuts. But yeah, what a pirate, eh? What a vulture, trying to get me ex-missus into a, you know, my ex-girlfriend into a sex trade chat line. Now, that told me one thing. He wasn't just a musician, was he? He wasn't just a keyboard player. He was some kind of bigwig in the sex trade, you know what I mean? KP nut, I don't recall. Bruce Woodbine infused nut. Peanut coated in coke. Oh man, this is mad, isn't it? Right, but anyway, do you get me what I'm saying? I tried to join the dots between this guy and his man running this sex line, right? And then later on down the line, drugs seemed to enter into my world where me, you know, to get me woman away from me, if you know what I mean. They gave her drugs to get into it, like, you know what I mean. I should be crying. You know what I mean? What's weird about me, my life has been so tragic and sad, and, you know, sort of like, you know, most men would be like, you know, they'd be like proper depressed by now. I should be walking around with a duffel coat on, with like 5-inch fingernails, crying all day and night, you know what I mean? Remember the joke, things you used to put in Dad's ciggies that would bang? Yeah. Oh, man. Joke tricks, man. Joke tricks, you know. Do you remember me little thingy? Do you remember this one, Jewel, in the joke tricks? Do you remember the little, it was like a little Tutankhamun, little red plastic Tutankhamun in a coffin, and it had a magnet in it. And if you banged it, the magnet, like when you tried to put Tutankhamun back in the coffin, he just jumped out because the magnet made it, you know, fly out of the coffin. And then when you give it a bang or whatever, like, it stuck properly. Like, do you remember that? Little plastic Tutankhamun, man, you know what I mean? That'd be worth a fortune now, wouldn't it? I used to put them in me nans too. Exploding seniors service. The best one was we did it with my mum's cigarette, right? We put this thing in my mum's cigarette, and it made snow, you know, the living room. It was like snow in the living room. So we knew, you know, we were in on it, like me and my brother and my sister. We knew we were planting the thing in my mum's cigarette, right? And my mum's sitting there just smoking like that and looking at us, and we're all starting to laugh because we can see this white snow appearing above our heads, you know what I mean? It went up in the smoke, and it was like, and my mum was like, we were laughing, we were all going, because she didn't know the smoke was there. Yeah, there was snow falling down, you know, above her, like, and she was looking at us laughing, thinking we were laughing at us just smoking. She was going, and we were going, and then she started seeing the snow, going, what's that? What's going on there? You know what I mean? We were laughing our heads off because it was snowing in the living room, basically, wasn't it? Mad. Yeah, what time are we on? Yeah, 22:60 is still rather early, isn't it, really? So me what's it called? My interface hasn't disconnected this time. It was funny that last night, wasn't it, when it went off all of a sudden, and I could see your comments going, no sound, I can't hear you, you know what I mean? Because in my headphones I could still hear myself, you know, when I was talking. So my microphone was still working and the loop was still working, but yous were all going, we can't hear nothing. I was like, oh man, I've got to sort out something, like I've got a gremlin in my electronics. Bit of a gremlin and that. Hey Julie, have you seen the film of the me video I posted of Liverpool bringing the trophy home? You remember I was sitting in yours? Bruce, tell that joke about the deaf people in the pub. Oh man, I don't know if it'd be like understandable in this kind of mode. Do you know, in this, I'd have to think about it, like. I'll have a think about it, like. Would it work? Do you know what I mean? You got to think, would it work, the delivery on the screen? You know, like some jokes, like oh man, I was actually thinking about loads of jokes the other day, and I was thinking I should say some of these jokes on YouTube. Oh yeah, here's the best one. Here's my favourite joke, right, Jewel? You'll know this joke, right? You'll know this joke. Don't spoil it and put the punchline up, please. Right. Anyone, do you want to hear a good joke? Put in the comments if you want to hear good. Not, you know, obviously, Julie, you know, it would work, yeah. Okay, we'll have a think about it then, right? But first, let me tell you this joke, all right? And you know this joke, Jewel, right? I don't know if our Ava knows this joke, but this is a funny joke, okay, guys? It's one of my favourite jokes of all time, right? You probably know as soon as I say the open. Right. Have you ever heard of Fanny Craddock? Fanny Craddock, the cook. Her name's Fanny Craddock. I remember Grandad telling me about doing magic mushrooms, and he was saying everything was all gold and so pretty. He's right. Yeah, he loved it. Okay, back to the joke. Fanny Craddock. Ava, have you heard me Fanny Craddock joke? Jules, yeah, she knows. Have you heard me Fanny Craddock joke? Ava. You know who Fanny Craddock is, don't you? You know the cook. Anyone who's American, anyone who's watching from America, you might not know. There's 6 watching at the moment, actually. Hey, we're doing well. We're going world record here, aren't we? But Fanny Craddock, she's a famous woman, and she cooks meals on, she's a bit of a snob, bit of a, old school 70s snob, and she used to cook meals, and, she's like Delia Smith or Gordon Ramsay of the day, right? But anyway, here's the joke. Okay, Avi, you've never heard this joke. Okay, should be... Let's see what the laughometer happens to the laughometer, all right? So picture the scene. Fanny Craddock's on television, on the television show, doing a recipe, showing people how to make an omelette or whatever, right? And she always had a husband, Johnny Craddock. He was always next to her, wasn't he? The henpecked. Johnny Craddock was the henpecked husband. And he was always standing next to her, you know what I mean? Going, yes, Fanny, yes, right? And anyway, she shows all the viewers how to make a perfect omelette, right? She says, okay, this is how you make your omelette. And at the end of the show, right, she shows the food, and, just before the programme finishes, right? And she goes, so there you go, a fantastic omelette for all your family to enjoy when you make this later on, right? And then she goes, okay, we'll be back next week with some more recipes. Oh man, I've got it wrong, haven't I? Oh, that's it. Yeah, she makes an omelette, and then for pudding, she makes donuts, right? And she shows people how to make donuts, right? And then at the end of the program, she shows the omelette and whatever, and the donuts, and she says, "Okay, we'll be on next week, and we'll show you how to make beef stroganoff or whatever, right?" And then Fanny Craddock's husband looks at the camera. He goes, "Yes, so." Join us next week, and I hope your donuts turn out like Fanny's. I hope your donuts turn out like Fanny's. That's one of my favourite jokes. Most of my favourite jokes are rude. They're actually rude. Here's a good one. Mummy, Mummy, I can't go to school today. I can't go back to school today. All the kids are calling me a vampire. Shut up and eat your soup before it clots. Mummy, can I wear a bra now I'm 14? No, you can't, Tommy. The one about the tramp asking to use the toilet at someone's house. Oh, yeah. They're too mega, you see, dude. They're long. I'll save them. Do you know what I'm actually trying to do? I've got some really good jokes, right, and I want to save them because I might do a stand-up somewhere, you know what I mean? My ambition at the moment is nothing musical. I'm doing the music thing as a kind of like a backup in case the dole goes. Ava's loud. So, but my ambition at the moment is I would like to do a stand-up comedy in a like without any script, and just get pissed, go on the stage and just do a stand-up comedy and see if I can get like either die on stage or make people laugh, you know what I mean? So I'm saving a lot of jokes. I've got a lot of classic jokes that I don't want to like. The hardest part is inventing jokes. You know, with me Bushido Bananas cartoon thing, which I actually make jokes up for that. You know what I mean? I don't want to give it away, in case I make the movie. I'm really sitting down thinking it would take me hours to make a cartoon. Like it doesn't have to be a moving cartoon. It could be still shots, couldn't it? Just still pictures and that. Like, shall I show you one of my cartoons and you can read if I can find it, like, so you can read the what's it called? Let's see if I can find it. The Bushido Bananas cartoon. It's the film's going to be called. And think about this, guys. Right, met a gypsy girl last night. She invited me back for a good time. She wasn't kidding. I went on the dodgems, the waltzers, and came home with 3 goldfish. Came home. You actually, is that a, I don't know, met a gypsy girl last night. She invited me back for a good time. She wasn't kidding. I went on the She invited me back for a gypsy girl. Nothing better than laughter and dirty jokes are the best. Well, that's it, like, isn't it? We've got to be like, it's got to be a bit of, mad comedy, like. Yeah, but we film, the big movie I'm trying to work on, right? Picture the scene, right, guys? Yeah, where's my thing? I'll just show you the poster. I mean, hold on, just got to go in the back room. One more. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, we're back on. Everything's still running. Right. Yeah, well, my biggest ambition in life, right, is to make this movie, right? A bit like, it's a piss taker. It's a parody of, Ninja Turtles. I never really dug the Ninja Turtles, to be honest, like, you know what I mean? I never really got into it. Like, so, while everyone was going on about it, I came up with this, didn't I, right? You see, Bushido bananas. Now look at the work in that. That's all 3D modelling, that, guys. I've done the 3D model and built the bananas. Everyone keeps looking at the black one thinking it's a phallic symbol. It's not. He's meant to be a ninja. Look. Beninja, his name is. Look, Beninja. Well, he looks shiny because it's meant to be silk, like a ninja. Someone was like going, that looks like a bit of an... It looks like a dildo, basically, doesn't it? Well, it's not meant to be a dildo. It's meant to be a banana in a ninja suit. Beninja, right? He's Secret Nana there. Look, that's the names, the characters. Secret Nana, Beninja, Boss Nana. He's the boss, like, see, Boss Nana. And then that's Bagno Nana. Bagno Nana. Right. I see the work I put into this. This is signed, by the way, look. Where's the signature? Signed if anyone wants to buy this. I mean, this is me plan for I want to make the world. Black banana, exactly, black bananas, lives matter. No, he's actually a normal banana. You can see under the suit, you see where his eyes are. He's meant to be a camera, do you understand? If you imagine like Stanley Kubrick, the camera. The black banana is the camera, you know what I mean? And he's filming the other 3 bananas in action, basically, right? Now, my film's going to be called, get this right, Enter the Banana. Like Enter the Dragon. Yeah, look, I've got that. I'm like, the inventor in Gremlins, the dad in Gremlins, and then everything's getting laminated, Julie, you know what I mean? I've been like, I'm laminating everything. I'm going to be laminated myself one day, you know what I mean? You could buy a key ring of me laminated, like. But anyway, the film's going to be called Enter the Banana, right? And, like Enter the Dragon. Instead of Enter the Dragon, Enter the Banana, right? And the actual film, it's going to be it's the story. I've got the plot written, right? The plot's been written. The jokes have been written. I've written a load of jokes. Have you ever tried making jokes up yourselves? When you make your own jokes up in a kind of like in a play or like a script or whatever. Man, it's quite difficult, man. But I've come up with some brilliant original jokes. You know what I mean, right? But the plot I've planned it, right? I'm just waiting for Quentin Tarantino. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for Quentin Tarantino to enter the banana. I made up a joke. Make up a joke, isn't it? That's what we've got to do, like. Right. But if you imagine Bruce Lee, right, he's not dead, right? He's not dead. This is the... I'll try and talk about this plot line before. Did you hear about the suicide bomber who rang the Samaritans and said he wanted to live? Oh man, yeah, here's one, Julie. You probably never heard this joke. Here's one. This cat hijacks an aeroplane. Right. This cat with a gun hijacks an aeroplane, takes over the entire plane, and he gets the pilot. And the pilot's sitting in the front, and he's going, "Okay, we'll do anything you want. What you want? What you want?" And the cat aims the gun at the pilot's head, and he says, "Take me to the Canaries." Oh. Alright guys, get this man, this plot line. This is the plot line, pissing myself laughing. Right, this is the plot line. Enter the banana. I've already done a complete storyline of a banana story, right? And it was about the world, the Martians. Here's the story, right? Here's the lowdown, right? Here's the lowdown. The Bushy, the bananas, right? They came from you know the way the Ninja Turtles are something to do with some kind of nuclear catastrophe, right? Now you imagine when Nagasaki or Hiroshima happened, right? If you just imagine that they're just bananas on the shelves in the market, you know, in the market in Japan, and because of the nuke, because they got nuked unexpectedly, you know, the you know, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, these bananas that were on the, you know, the three bananas, the fourth one is just the camera, you know what I mean? I'm just like, it's my cameo, that's me, and the black one's me, and I'm the cameraman, basically. I'm just a cameo role, basically. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be me, actually. You know what I mean? Look at the detail, man. Look at the headbands. I mean, isn't it amazing? Anyone want to buy this picture? 10 quid, come on, 10 quid, it's signed. Right, but anyway, I've got to get Quentin Tarantino in on it, you see. Only Quentin Tarantino can make this film, right? Only Quentin Tarantino. You know when you think of Kill Bill? Kill Bill was kind of like right up my street. You know, when it came out, I was like, oh my word, this director is onto it, you know what I mean? But I thought, if I can get Quentin Tarantino to make the Bushido movie, we're going to be millionaires forever, man. But that's not why I want to do it, like, obviously. But you get the plot is, right, the bananas, they've been nuked in Japan, right? And so they've got like nuclear energies, you know. We'll never look at a banana and they say, oh, I'll tell you what, once this is out, Ava, this is like the world's greatest. Choco Blairho's got over his nickname with this song. I will in a minute. Remind me in a minute, Jewel. I just want to talk about this plot line. I've got to tell people, I want people to get, like, me music, everything, me art, everything is nothing, right? Everything I'm doing, learning how to record music and everything, playing electric guitar, doing all those things, yeah, is so I can do a soundtrack to the movie. That's all I want to do, is a soundtrack to the movie, you know what I mean? Like, and play all the instruments myself and everything and all the songs myself. Like, I've got a song called Baby, I'll Be Your Banana Tonight. Now, think about that, man. Right? You know, Baby, I'll Be Your Banana Tonight. And it's a song for when, like, you know, Boss Nana is having a love scene. He's reminiscing on when he was with his girlfriend, Janet Nana. She's called Janet, his missus, right? But I sound like a proper lunatic here, don't I? I've got to make this film. I've got to make this movie. Someone's got to help me, like, right? But if you imagine Boss Nana, every time he has a flashback, every time he has a flashback, you know, he thinks of his missus, Janet Nana. You know, like the film The Crow. You know the way Brandon Lee thinks about his missus, he has flashbacks and that after this gang have wrecked his life, you know what I mean? Well, if you imagine a banana doing that, all, you know, he's like, keeps having flashbacks about when he was with his wife and stuff. And if you imagine a piece of music sounding like Prince or something, and, you know, Prince is actually I'm going to do an impersonation of Prince, you know, and he's like, baby, I'll be a banana tonight. Like a proper like soul, like a soul song, you know, like the slow soul songs. I've got to do. So that's why I play my guitar. That's why I'm a musician, so I can do the soundtrack for this movie. You know what I mean? If I ever get time to do it, right? But if you picture the scene, right, like a banana having a love scene with his ex-banana girlfriend, his wife Janet, Janet Nana. Oh man. But the arch enemy, right? The arch enemy of the bananas, right? Their arch enemy is a character called Bean, right? Bean, just Bean. That's his name, Bean, right? And basically, Bean is a kidney bean. That's him. He's an evil bean, you know what I mean? He's meant to be the devil, basically. Do you know what I mean? And like good and evil in every story, right? Now, Bean is supposed to be like, he's a kidney bean that's evil, basically, right? I'm still here, but I'm laying on bed trying not to laugh and draw attention to myself. This'll make it. I'm sitting on a gold mine of comedy with this, guys. I'm actually sitting on a gold mine. I've tried my best to keep it under wraps. I've put little bits and pieces through my channel, you know what I mean? Well, that's the most important thing in my life, is to make this movie, you know what I mean? I don't care about anything else. I want to be a rock guitar player so that like all the guitar work and the soundtrack is perfect, you know what I mean? I've done the theme musics and done tunes for it and everything. You won't believe it, man. Baby, I'll be a banana tonight. Imagine it like a banana. But anyway, Bean, he's an evil kidney bean, and what he done, he kidnapped Janet and done it in, basically, you know what I mean? So every time Boss Nana has a flashback about Bean being naughty to him, like he always thinks of Janet Nana, you know what I mean? He starts crying and stuff, you know what I mean? And they have like flashbacks, you know, because they came from a nuclear explosion in Japan, right? They've got special powers, and they're like, you know, they're just like superheroes. They're better. I mean, 3 nuclear bananas, man. Come on, you can't beat that for superheroes, can you? You know what I mean? Right. And they've got this bean trying to kill them and that, like, right. And then in the storyline, the way I did it was, I'm a fan. I'm just a person who was actually into the... I was trying to record music, and Bean was ruining it for me, you know, because Bean's the devil and he torments everyone. He's wrecking everyone's head, Bean, you know what I mean? He's actually, you know what I mean? You know, the person that wants to be the devil is going to try and be as bad as they can, aren't they? That's what Bean's doing. He's wrecking everyone's lives and everything, right? And he starts messing with me. I put myself in there as a cameo, right? And I'm just a musician trying to record, and Bean keeps putting me off every time I'm getting to a vital note when I've got to record it, you know what I mean? So I call the bananas. I see the phone number in a phone box and call the bananas to help me out, you know what I mean? And I go, you got to help me out, guys. I don't know what's happening. I can't play my guitar properly. Something keeps putting me up. Like, you know, a whole banana called Bruce Banner Banana. I've thought about that one, like. My real name's Bruce, you know what I mean? My real name's Bruce, so it's either Bruce Banner or Bruce Wayne, isn't it? You know what I mean? But all the superheroes are going about to the bananas one day, you know what I mean? Forget all this, what's it called? DC Comics and all these films, they're all going out, Avengers and everything. Bushido bananas, man, look. Just say the words Bushido bananas and you'll get like you'll start to see the comedy. You're probably walking around the shops and every time you look at a banana, you're thinking, oh wow, it's like it's looking at me or something, you know? But, in the storyline, right, they are a right bunch, man. They're good skins, actually. But in the storyline, oh man, in the storyline, Bean is because he's harassing me. I call the bananas, right, and then we do this. Then I don't want to spoil the story, but literally, Bean kills me, right. I actually die. I actually take the place of you know, Brandon Lee in you know. There's a big connection to Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, you see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to justify, you know, I think, so, you know. But if you imagine me, that's me there, Beninja, and I've been killed by Bean, you know what I mean? I've died. Yeah, Banana Man's kids stuff compared to this, Ava. These are, like, see the swords and everything, look, these, like, see, they've all got, like, samurai swords and that, like, they're proper warriors, like, you know what I mean? They're, like... The proper hard bananas, man. Do you know what I mean? Right. Right, so in that storyline, I got killed. And I had to re-emerge as a ninja, just like, like Brandon Lee does in the film. He comes out of the grave, doesn't he? That's what I actually do to myself in the storyline. I've actually drawn these pictures, guys, right? But it's all leading up to Enter the Banana, right? And I think, the way Star Wars, they released the first Star Wars movie first, and then they released the earlier stories later. I want to do it like that, you know what I mean? I want Enter the Banana to be the beginning of it, Enter the Banana, do you get me, like? And the storyline behind that, right, is I've become one of the bananas, right? I'm Beninja, but I'm just the cameraman. You've got to think of me as Stanley Kubrick, you know what I mean? And I help the bananas, but I'm just basically the cameraman, right? Oh, you wouldn't believe it, the things I've wrote down and the jokes I've made up for this story, right? But you imagine Bruce Lee, he's not dead. Bean's been killed, right? I went mad and killed Bean because he killed me, right? So the bananas asked me to join them, and that's what happens, okay? But they're actually nuclear bananas, so they've got special powers, right? No, but I don't think bananas are fruit. I think they're psychotropics, like magic mushrooms and stuff. Right, anyway, if you picture the scene, right, Bean is dead, right, but he's one of his henches. You know the way all these gangsters have got henches and like criminals everywhere. The next criminal after Bean is a character called Mango, and he's a rapist. He's a gay man. He's a proper fruit. You know what I mean? He's a proper mango, like, and he goes around seducing men, right? But the thing is, right, because everyone was after Bruce Lee and trying to, like, outfox Bruce Lee, and everyone wanted to fight him and everything. Like, John Inman was a fruit. Well, the way everyone wanted to challenge Bruce Lee. Well, you imagine Mango. All Mango wants to do is try and humiliate Bruce Lee, like, because he's a, you know what I mean? He manipulates men for his kick, right? So Mango, he's like a, he's basically an arse bandit, basically, right? And what happens is, listen to this for the complicated plot, guys. This is how insane I am, right? This is how mad it is. Bruce Lee's not even dead, right? He's been taken prisoner by Mango. And he's in a jail somewhere. Mango's got this prison somewhere that he's running it like, and he's like the governor and everything, but he pretends to be a prisoner himself, right? And they've got Bruce Lee in there, right? But he can't, because Bruce Lee's got abilities, he can't conquer Bruce Lee. Do you know what I mean? He can't, he's in the jail, and you imagine Bruce Lee becoming the cleaner, and the guy that goes around and delivers the books to everyone's cells and that kind of stuff. It's an illegal jail, though, you know what I mean? It's not like a real jail, right? And Mango's keeping all these people there because he wants to seduce them, basically, right? But he still hasn't conquered Bruce Lee, right? And Bruce Lee's there all along thinking he's trying to work out how to destroy Mango, right? Right, so the bananas find out that Mango's got this jail in Madagascar or somewhere, right? And they go and they send Boss Nana has to go into that jail and pretend he's a prisoner, right? Enter the banana, do you understand? Enter the banana. The banana has to go into jail, basically, right? And he gets to the jail and he's in his cell. And he realises Bruce Lee's there. Do you get me? He recognises him. He's like, huh? I thought you were dead. You imagine the storyline and Bruce Lee's going, no, emotional content. You imagine Bruce Lee talking to a banana man. And he's... Look, Ava's... Oh, he's laughing her head off. Ava, I genuinely can't stop laughing here, right? Right, so you imagine this... Boss Nana's blown away because he's meeting Bruce Lee in the jail going, oh my word, you've been here all along. Everyone thinks you're dead. And you imagine Mango being an obsessive arse bandit and he's trying his best to conquer Bruce Lee, but he can't, right? So Bruce Lee starts tipping off Boss Nana about what to do about stuff and that, you get me, right? And then, this is the one of the peaks of the movie is, Boss Nana gets put in the cell with Mango, right? Because Mango's pretending to be a prisoner, remember? He's actually... Mango's an arse bandit in a jail, do you understand? But he's actually the governor, he's running it. He's actually the governor, he's running it, right? So anyway, Boss Nana gets put in a cell, and the door opens, and who's his cellmate? Mango, right? Now here's the part. Here's the part where me jokes, like this is me joke, I made this up, right? The bananas, right? They've just got the new, you know the way Batman has a belt called a utility belt? You know, like the Batman has a belt called the utility belt, and it's yellow, isn't it? It's usually a yellow belt, isn't it, right? But these are called utility skins. Do you understand? They've been like the nuclear. Remember, they got so far doing their own thing as nuclear bananas, right? And as they accumulated abilities and you know, superhero abilities, they could purchase these things called the utility skin, right? Which is a brand new, modernised, futuristic banana skin. With everything in it. Have you noticed their arms aren't there, look? Notice I haven't put any arms there or anything, no limbs or nothing. Because what happens is, if they need to draw the sword, you know, the utility skin goes, and you know, they produce an arm and they pull a sword out or whatever, do you get me? Right, so the utility skins, right, they've just been delivered at the beginning of the movie, enter the banana, right? And they're trying them out and everything. You imagine the beginning of it where they're going, how are you getting used to your new utility skin? And they sort of go, oh, mine's great, like, you know what I mean? It's got this and that built in, and they've got, you know, they've got gadgets built into them, do you get me, right? So if you imagine, like, a banana skin being, like, electronic, if you can... I think I'm ready for the asylum now, aren't I? Or the Dalek, you know, like Daleks, the way there's something inside the Dalek. Well, inside the banana, like, obviously there's the nuclear bananas are inside it, right? But anyway, here's the punchline. This is one of my funniest jokes, right, guys? I'm going to give this away. I'm leaking this from the movie before it happens because I want to see if you think it's funny, right? Tell me if you think it's kind of dirty, it's kind of naughty, but remember, Mango's an arse bandit, right? And he's been put in the cell with Boss Nana, right? Now, they do a flashback, right? Boss Nana's in his bunk bed, and you know he's on the top bunk, and Mango's underneath him, like going. I mean, you imagine a Mango being in the cell going, I like bums. I like bums, me. You know, talking about like. If you imagine being in a prison cell with someone talking like that, and Boss Nana's thinking, oh my word, shit, he's coming on to me, you know what I mean? Right, but here's the funny thing, right? When at the beginning of the movie, when they get the new utility skins before he goes to jail, right? Boss Nana goes, this is an incredible device built into these suits in case Mango tries to rape us. Do you know what I mean? It's a defense mechanism for Mango, you know, to you know, it's in the skin, it's built in, right? Right. I know. Hey, it's copyrighted, David. I've done it. I've already made sure it's copyrighted. Do you understand? If anyone rips me off, they've got no chance, man. Right. But anyway, he does a flashback to when they're talking about the new skins, right? And Boss Nana's going, it's got an anti-Mango device, right? Imagine anti-Mango device, right? And he goes, you know, like in Terminator where you see the readouts, what he's seeing and things like that, you know what I mean? Imagine seeing what the bananas are seeing and it says like, activate. And it's a device called false bum, right? If you imagine a false bum, you know, like say, it's like a real bum, but it goes like switches in case you know, in an emergency. It's built into the utility skin, right? Now imagine it, right? They're brand new skins, and they don't know how to use them properly, right? And Boss Nana hasn't fully understood how to activate the false bum, right? Fake bum, yeah, right. I've told you about it, didn't I, Jules? Right. Did you imagine a banana in a cell and he's like sort of homophobic and afraid of a Mango, the arse bandit, and Mango's going, I like bums. So Boss Nana whispers to his utility skin, activate false bum. Right, and then it says on the screen, malfunction, false bum deactivated. And then Mango's going, I like bums, me. So Boss, imagine a banana panicking going, activate false bum. And it won't activate, do you know what I mean? Because he's like, imagine that on a t-shirt, activate false bum. I mean, I could be a multi-millionaire just from that alone, couldn't I? Right, so I can't put it I can't tell it now. Imagine that for the cliffhanger. Imagine that, a cliffhanger at the end of an episode. He's lying there on the bunk bed, and Mango's beneath him going, I like new bums. I like virgins. You know, like imagine him being the worst arse bandit on earth, and he's going, activate false bum. And then the little signal comes up in his headphones, false bum deactivated, malfunction. Do you know what I mean? And he's panicking, like, because that Mango's starting to talk about doing him, like, you know what I mean? Okay, so those are the kind of jokes, the visual, you know, when you're trying to write a joke and it's got to be visual and actually be funny, I don't know, have some source or substance, right? Now, meanwhile, Bruce Lee's been doing all the same stuff himself, like, Elton John would need a false bum by now. Well, he's got false hair, so you might as well have a false bum. Be like a clown's pocket. Activate false bum. Malfunction. False bum deactivated. Activate false bum. I like bums, mate. Wouldn't that be one of the funniest scenes ever in the history of a movie, like, you know what I mean? But Bruce Lee's sussed him out, you see. Remember, Bruce Lee's helping Boss Nana all along, so you've got to understand, like, that Enter the Banana, it's not, I don't know. I want to put Brandon in the movie too, like, act the fake false hairy bum. Well, the bananas, Jules, they haven't got hairy bums, you see. Bananas haven't got hairy bums. There's other jokes as well, you see. I mean, oh man. In the earlier story, this is how bad it's gone. I've got the whole film, you know, the whole film and the climax and everything, what happens to Mango and everything, like, the whole thing's done in my head, and I can't, like, by the time the movie finishes, everyone should hate Mango a lot, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to achieve. You know what I mean? I want people to all go, oh man, I hate this horse bandit, he's so annoying, isn't he? You know what I mean? Mango. Do you get me? He sees a man, it's go. Man, go. He sees a man, go. He can't help himself, he's a weirdo, you know what I mean? And Bruce Lee. See, Bruce Lee's going to join them, you see. Now, if Quentin Tarantino's watching, mate, please, come on, man, give us a phone call, let's get this film done, let's get it out. Most probably had his hole tightened a few times to keep the toy. This is getting... I'll get my channel taken down. So, you know, I'm actually more obsessive about this than anything I do musically. You know, if you think about everything, I mean, I want to be able to write anything and play anything, right, to achieve anything sonically, you know. So Quentin Crisp, if Tarantino isn't free, oh no, yeah, well, he could actually play Mango, couldn't he? I guess if you imagine it though, he's a big dopey, like big daft as a brush Mango. He's like, he doesn't even know the difference. He doesn't even know the difference between a bum. Quentin. But yeah, in the story leading up to it, where I become a ninja and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not into ninja stuff, you know what I mean? It's all parody, remember, you know what I mean? But I'm more into samurai stuff, you know, samurais, you know. But in the story before that, it's like Bean is trying to take over the planet with opticians. Like, can you understand that one? Like, Ares Opticals, a company called Ares Opticals, because Bean's from Mars, you see, you know what I mean? That's why he's into chaos and stuff. He's trying to destroy Earth, basically, right? So what he does is, to invade Earth, he creates all these opticians on Earth, right? You know, like Vision Express and Dolan and Aitchison, right? And he's giving away glasses for free. You know, like everyone's getting pairs of glasses for free because they're on the adverts on the telly, right? And the spectacles have got, like, you know, things to hypnotise people, do you know what I mean? So as soon as they put these glasses on, it tells them to do something bad, you know what I mean? So that's the storyline in that one, like, and there's a bit when Eric Morecambe, you know Eric Morecambe, the comedian, Eric, you know, Morecambe and Wise, they're on television in Britain, and the Bananas get a call because Eric Morecambe's just is threatening to blow up the television studio and he's got a bomb and everything, you know what I mean? Because he's wearing these glasses he bought from Ares Opticals, do you understand? Like, what a storyline, eh, guys? I could be like... And the adverts are coming on the telly, like, doesn't anyone imagine watching the television and them adverts come on and says, buy one pair of spectacles and get a pair free. Right, so I'm going really overboard, and it'll be like, it's raining spectacles. And you see like loads of glasses falling down like that. And then it says, buy one pair of spectacles and get a pair of spectacles for every member of your family, even if they've got perfect eyesight. Do you get me? That's the beginning that we know that Bean's invading Earth, you know, because he's like, loads of people are walking around with specs on and they don't need them, you know what I mean? But the company's called Aries Opticals, right? You know, that's what Bean does. So now I've just told you that, right? I'll show you the opening scene, right? Do you want to see the opening scene from Enter the Banana? And I'll try and go through it like bit, to show you the atmosphere. This is an actual scene from Enter the Banana, right? I'll try and find it. You know, this is only the original draft, you know, when I drew it originally, like, I'm off my head, aren't I? I must be insane, mustn't I, to even be, like, you know. Okay, I've just gone off the screen, I'm just checking my, let's see if I can find this picture. Hold on a second, folks. Let's show you this picture, and it's a whole, now come on, please tell me of Banana's pics. Oh, come on, Bruce. There we go, I found it, brilliant. Found it straight away, great, this time we're alright. Okay, now, let's get the picture up. Okay, you ready for this, guys? I'll just shrink me head. Just close this down, right? Okay, it's time to shrink my head. It's head shrink time. Hey, that's why you've got to watch that's why I keep telling you to watch Mars Attacks, you know. There's a man shrinks in it and he's going, hey, what are you? He's, you know, a general and the Martians shrink him, you know what I mean? So he's going, hey, what do you mean? You know, and as he shrinks, he starts going, you've got to see it, like, you'll know what I mean. He's a general and he shrinks, so like the Martians shrink him, like, shrinking head. Okay. Here's my picture anyway, right? I'll read through it. I'll put me tiny in the corner because I want you to see the whole page. But you want to see the first. This is a scene. You've seen this clip, yeah? Julie's seen this picture. Oh no, the clip of Mars Attacks you're talking about. Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. Now this should be on the big screen, shouldn't it? Right, you should see that. Now this is early artwork. This, guys, this is me early artwork. Right. Of the original Enter the Banana, the beginning of the film, right? Okay, so I'll do voices, okay, guys? I'll try and be like a, you know, what I got to do is zoom into it. But you see how I work into this? You see the way I've made it look like CinemaScope with subtitles. You know what I mean? I'm actually trying to develop a style, you know, like based on like Japanese movies, the samurai films and stuff, you know what I mean? Alright, here we go. Look, watch this. I'll do a read through. I don't want to spoil it, you know, you might not matter. But there you go, look, right. Enter the Banana. It says double X there, but it's going to be triple X by the time the film's made, right? Mainly because it's violent. Right, but anyway, here we go. Enter the Banana, scene 1, right? Okay. There you go. Now, you remember what I've just told you about Aries Opticals and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, this is an update from that, right? This is coming into Enter the Banana now. Bushido Banana's base, top secret. More news of Mars. Seeing the bananas watching the telly there, right? And there we see the newsreader there, right? And he says, scientists are baffled by the sudden disappearance of the planet Mars. Because Beninja has just destroyed it, you know what I mean? But anyway, and the collapse, you see, here's where it comes into the storyline, look, and the collapse of industry giant Aries Opticals PLC. You see, it's like, right, and look, Boss Nana zoom in like samurai zoom in, look, we really did it this time, Nanas. Bean is finally mushed for good. Do the voice, you know, like Batman, do the voice of, we really did it this time, Nanas. Bean is finally mushed for good. See, because Bean's been killed by now, right? Okay, next one. Each picture took me ages to draw, right? And then Boss Nana says, let's set our sights on some smaller fish to fry, Nanas. Right? Because do you know, and then what comes on the telly straight away? Mango sighting. The evil fugitive mango has been sighted in Madagascar. Right. See the screen, it says mango alert on the news, look. And it says, there has been an increase in the sales of Anacal on the island, and locals have reported many sore bums. Is this going too far, guys? Do you think I'm... Be honest, am I a sick fuck or what? Because I'm not. I'm trying to be humorous, but it's about a mango. He's an arse band. That's a channel. I'll go back. Look at the last one. There has been an increase in the sales of Anacal on the island, and locals have reported many sore bums. Right. That's on the news. That's on the news. And Boss Nara goes, look, to see the samurai zoom. Look, the samurai zoom. Look. Hey, but that's Boss that. And then Boss Nara said, look, it's Boss Nara. And then he goes, mango? That's really strange. Right? He's just remembering that he saw the word mango. Mango? And then he goes, that's really strange. And then Bagno Nana, this is the other one of the other bananas. There's Bagno there, right? They all look the same, but they've got different eyebrows. Look closely and you'll see they've all got different eyebrows, right? So Bagno Nana looks at him and goes, gee, boss, yeah, he's still loose. You know, talking about mango, right? And then Boss Nana says, no, Bagno. The newsreader said sore bums on the TV. Because newsreaders don't say sore bums, do they, on television, you know what I mean? Right. Now you got to realise, why is the news so weird? Why is it saying that on the news? Well, the reason is because they're not on the Earth, they're in orbit around the moon. Right, it's pissing myself laughing. Right, okay. And then look at Boss Nana's thought waves. Like, he said, the newsreader just said sore bums on the TV. And then he realises what he's asking. He goes, oh, yeah, Bagno, that old arse bandit's still at it, yep. Talking about mango, right? But look in the thought bubble, he's thinking in his head, fucking fruit. He's a banana. He's a banana thinking about a mango going. You notice the eyebrows? See his eyebrows? They're different. See, that's Boss Nana there, right? There's Bagno there. Look, see his eyebrows are different. He's more like a happy banana, like. So anyway, oh yeah, Bagno, that old arse bandit's still at it. Yep, fucking fruit. Right? He's just a mango, you know what I mean? He's a fruit. Right? And then there's a silence. Look at the silence. See the silence. Where they're all floating. You've noticed they're all floating. They're all weightless, you see. They're flying around the moon, right? And they're watching the telly. Look, and there's Beninja there. There's I'm a cameo on the camera, right? And then it goes, sport. Steve McLaren has spoken about England's 3-2 defeat against Croatia at Wembley tonight. The reason I did this is because the night I was doing this cartoon, that was what happened. Remember when England got beat by Croatia? Right, but look what it says. It says, Steve McLaren has spoken up about England's 3-2 defeat against Croatia at Wembley tonight. And then we go down to the bottom, like I've drawn Steve McLaren. Look, there's Steve McLaren, look. And it says, I did my best. The team gave a 43%-ish performance. It's the fans who should be sacked. Booing at half time? Yeah. Right, he's going mad because the fans booed at half time, right? Now remember what happened later on to Wayne Rooney. The same thing happened, didn't it? He's going, booing, if your own fans booing you. Mum, would you howl off this? Got to... My mum would... Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, anyone who sees this will laugh their heads off. They've got to. You've got to share this. I want people to... I'll make T-shirts and merch, you know what I mean? I want to... Right. I did my best. The team gave a 43% performance. It's the fans who should be sacked. Booing at half time, yeah. Right. And then look at the next shot. Bagno! Bagno, you're in the way of the telly. Move out of the way. I can't see the screen, Bagno. And look, see the bananas upside down in front of the telly. Because they're floating around, look. And look. Gee, boss, I'm sorry. I can't adjust to weightlessness. I miss the old armchairs. Look, he's upside down. Right. And then this is the last scene. This is the last frame of the opening scene, right? The most high-tech lunar base money can buy. Full digital plasma TV. But Bagno wants an old armchair. I mean, that's just the beginning of, that's just the opening scene, right? Then they're going to be talking about the new utility skins. Do you understand? Where I've left off from the... I mean, I've wrote the whole story about the Spectacles invasion. Look, I'm proud of these pictures, man. Look. Well, I don't know about that one, like. I'm very proud of that. Imagine that on the news. I drew these pictures myself. It took me hours and hours, man. Like, but like, look, Ares opticals collapse. Do you see, man? It's a massive movie. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be bigger than Star Wars. This, man, you know what I mean? But the nuclear bananas, you know, the nuclear bananas. They're not normal bananas. And I've been recruited to join them. Look, I love that scene there. I love that silence. See, there's no words. It's just like, and the, you know, imagine the sound of the telly, like, you know. The space, they're all watching the telly in orbit around the moon, you know what I mean? And there's like, Steve McClaren has spoken about England's 3-2 defeat against Croatia at Wembley tonight. So it's a bit of a time warp, isn't it? You know, a bit of a time warp to back to time, you know. Any England fans would probably, I don't know whether they see the funny side of that, I don't know. Like, but we go back, right? And there you go, look, you see. That's basically one scene at the beginning of the movie. And look at all the work I had to put in. I had to draw all that myself bit by bit. There's a bit of copying and pasting, like, right? And then you may have seen the other pictures. Oh, why did I do that? Oh. Did you hear me do a little mad belch then? Too funny. Well, there you go. Do you see what I'm saying about inventing jokes? Oh man, it's so difficult. Right, here's some more pictures. I'll show you some more pictures. Oh, give it a rest. Where are we? Why did I close that down? Right, here we go. Pictures, right. Now, banana pictures, frames, right? Now, look, here's that picture. Here's the poster. Look at how good that looks. You see the work I've put into that in 4D as well. Look at the smiley face, look. Look, see the eyebrows? That's Bagno, right? That's Boss. That's me as a camera. And look, his are just straight. His eyebrows are just straight. Secret Nana. See the detail, man? I mean, my music means nothing. I actually... I don't even want to be a rocker, me, you know. I mean, I'm sort of bored with music, but I'm so engrossed in it all my life. I've got to carry it on, you know what I mean? I'm not really bothered, but if I want to do a soundtrack, but here's the bass, look. There's the bass. Look at this, man. Look at that. You see, there's the bass around the moon. This is more recent artwork, you know what I mean? Look at that. They've got a space shuttle and everything. What does it remind you of? You know, it's 2001, A Space Odyssey, innit? Do you know what I mean? But that's the Bushido Bananas base. They're in there, like, see the little tiny windows and everything, like, and they're looking at Earth, right? I'm gonna get... People will think I'm insane now, won't they? But these are the practice scenes I've been doing, you know what I mean? Like, this is where they're looking out the window, look. They're looking at the Earth. You see? So if anyone wants to buy, anyone watches this, later on when it's been published, anyone sees this videos into cartoons, or if they want to buy any signed pictures and artwork before the movie is made, while it's still brand new. Look at that, mate. It's not, it's like, the astronauts wanted to cry when they looked at the Earth and everything. Imagine them bananas all like, sort of like, it looks so beautiful. Wouldn't it be funny? I'm trying my best, you see. That's only hard work. Everything's building up to that. Look, I've done an experiment here where I've put something on the... Oh, it's a different colour, isn't it? That's it, yeah. Different colours and things, you know what I mean? There you go, here's a close-up. See, I've basically done the model, the 3D model, where I'm basically building up to making a movie. So if anyone wants to see the film, push me and... Bruce, come on, man, get the bananas on and that, like... Get the bananas on. Activate false bomb. False bomb disconnected. Malfunction. Activate false bomb. I think it's... Oh, man. I've given away a major joke there, like, you know what I mean? But that's probably the peak of the movie, really. If but it's got I don't know. No one knows how the scene's gonna work out, do they? You know what I mean? What a cliffhanger, eh? Okay, I think we've been on long enough, haven't we? It's been 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's been a comedy one tonight, hasn't it? Like, came on like talking about dreams and I end up like going on about... This is the thing with bananas, right, guys? If you don't believe me, right, I made an accidental discovery, right? This is this is where it all comes from. I found out, because when we grew up in our house, it was like a banana was like a luxury, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was like fish fingers. They were like a luxury in our house as we grew up, because there was 4 kids and we all had to share and whatever, like, right? And if my mum got bananas, the angry one looks like my dad. It's the eyebrows. Yeah, if your Alman wants to play one of the bananas, man, he's welcome to one of the parts. Like, he could be secreting on it if you... Yeah. Oh, man. What am I talking about, man? But yeah, if I make a film of it, it could actually make me... if I actually put the time out and did the animations and done a couple of test cartoons, they might go viral, you see, and I don't want that. My channel, the way it is, with like... I've got about 325 subbers or something. I don't want it to get, like, massive. I don't want loads of people, do me head and go millions of views and all that. Oh, wreck me head, right? But I've got to be honest, if I put some bananas cartoons out, and... I've put music out, haven't I? I've put loads of stuff out. And it doesn't go mad, does it? No one goes mad and plays one of my songs millions of times on YouTube or anything. Do you know what I mean? It could happen by chance, that, couldn't it? Anyone could put a song on YouTube and then suddenly there's like millions of views, isn't there? You know what I mean? But because I don't polish me productions, I don't really care, you know what I mean? I do it for demos, don't I, right? But if you think of all the music becoming a soundtrack and then there's a movie, then you might understand where I'm coming from, you know what I mean? I've got no rock ego. I'm not like your typical rock guitar player, and I'm like, I don't care about none of that, you know what I mean? I'm actually, I ended up playing the guitar by accident and singing by accident, you know what I mean? I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to play the bloody drums. But I might as well use my skills to make a really good film, mightn't I? Now, the sad thing is, I might make a cartoon and it goes viral. Do you get me? I could very easily do a test cartoon, like 5 minutes long or something. Like South Park and things like that, that kind of quality. But if it goes viral, if it goes viral, they look angry every year. If it goes viral, and then people get really... Because think about it, none of my songs have gone viral. It could have happened by chance, couldn't it? If Gangnam Style can make it big in the world, any of my songs couldn't they, by chance? Because they're not polished production. That's why people don't really go for it. You gotta finish things properly, and then people They don't like demos and stuff, you know what I mean? It's mad. They don't like when recordings are rough, you know, but that's a reason I would do that, because if I went viral with one of my songs, it'd wreck me head. Just imagine me suddenly becoming like millions of views, and I'm famous worldwide, and I'm like going round the Asda or, you know, supermarkets and that, and people going, "There's Roller Coaster Ride." That would wreck my head, that, mate. But I think the Bananas might make me famous, and I don't want to be, you know what I mean? That might attract attention there. I'm trying not to be famous, if you know what I mean. That's the hardest part in this world, is trying not to be famous, right? But being talented and good at things, you know what I mean? No one bothers you, like. I mean, if Michael Jackson walked through the streets, he'd get mobbed by people, wouldn't he? If Prince walked through the streets, if Elvis Presley walked through the streets, they'd get mobbed, wouldn't he? If I walk through the streets, I get birds looking at me going, "Eee, look at that smelly stamp over there." Hey, they put it in the taps. They put it in the taps. What is the, you know, shall I crush it up and snort it and see what happens? But anyway, this is what I was saying. I discovered by accident, right, that bananas are psychotropic, right? And you know, when you're younger, and you know, bananas are quite rare, aren't they? You know, your mum and dad buy them, or your mum brings them in from the shops and that, right? Yeah, is it? Our Phil will say to this day that you are the one who got him playing, and I thank you for that, as Phil taught me to love music in a whole different way, and it cheers me up with his playing. Brilliant, nice one, Ava. I love that, like, brilliant. Yeah, I encouraged all I did. You know what's weird with Phil? I didn't tell him how to play or nothing, did I? I actually didn't encourage him and say, like, you want to learn how to play the guitar and all that. I was like, I kind of like went, I borrowed the guitar and see what you think. And he got the signal, didn't he? And he just got into it, you know what I mean? It's mad the way he abandoned it for a while as well, isn't he? He stopped playing for ages. And he needed to play, didn't he? He was getting something from that. You know, you don't have to make money, do you? You know what I mean? But yeah, I made up with that, Ave. Nice one. Yeah, it's done him the world of good, hasn't it? You know what I mean? It's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life, to be honest. Like, one of the most talented voices ever. And his guitar playing, he can do anything, basically. Whatever he wants to do, you know what I mean? He's capable of doing anything, isn't he? And I haven't even showed him nothing. I didn't show him a chord or anything. I just let him borrow the guitar, didn't I? He took the guitar home. And he got some kind of magic from it. Like, you know, like some kind of vibe from it, and it made him want to play, you know what I mean? I've got to lend him me Yamaha guitar, you see. I've got to finish customising it, and I'll lend him the Yamaha guitar, and I want him to do a review and tell me if it's better than the Fender, you know, me Yamaha Strat, me Stratocaster. So I'd be interested. I hardly use it now, you see. I keep using me Hofner Shorties, you know, me little portable guitars and that, like. So it'd be really interesting to see how Phil plays that Yamaha, and if it's got the same vibe that the Fender had. Like, that's something we've got to find out in the future, isn't it? You know, be interesting in that, like, guitars, man. Yeah, but anyway, I found out by accident, right, that when, you know, like, because when we were kids, we used to, like, you know, back to the bananas, right? You know, because we weren't used to them. It was like, if your mum bought bananas, you'd be like, have one each or something or whatever. You know what I mean? When you're younger, it's very rare to eat a lot of bananas. You know, look, Noe taught himself, like yourself, and both said, yeah, man. He can do anything, can't he? He's capable of anything. Exactly, self-taught, and he can learn songs without reading music and all that, that's natural talent. You know what I mean? But yeah, back to the bananas, right? When I got older and I was able to buy bananas myself and eat, like, if you eat 3 bananas in a row, how many people eat 3 bananas on a trot? You don't really want to, do you? But if you eat 2 or 3 of them before you go to sleep, you'd have mad dreams. You'd have, like, psychotropic dreams, right? And then later on down the line, those banana chips? They look like crisps and they've been fried. I ate a whole packet of them once, right? I'm not kidding you, right, guys? This is when I was living in Morton, right? I ate a whole packet of them banana chips. I know, because my body's not used to it. Like, I very rarely eat bananas because it's just like a treat. Do you get me? I get like a high off them. They make you happy. They make you laugh and things. People don't realise that, you know. But I ate these banana chips, And I remember going out into the street and it was night time, and you know, like when the traffic lights look all, you know, like an ecstasy tablet or something like. Not that I would know what ecstasy's like, but I've heard people describing what ecstasy's like, you know what I mean? But, you know, LSD or whatever, you know, when the lights look brighter and everything and more clear. I went outside in the street and I was like thinking, hang on, I'm on ecstasy here or something, what's going on? And then I realised, oh my word, I've just had a bag of banana chips. And I'm telling you now, guys, right, I felt like I was on an ecstasy tablet or something. So anyone out there, if you're watching, if you're depressed or you've got any, like, you know, mind issues where you can't, you know, you can't cheer up and that, eat they've got to be organic as well. Eat 3 organic bananas, one after the other. You should start cheering up. Or get a bag of them chips. The only problem with them chips is they've got, like, the fried, aren't they? The deep fried and that, like. But I found out that, like, bananas are like a drug. Do you know what I mean? And you can make drugs with the, you know, the skin. The white stuff in the skin, you can make a sort of psychotropic drug with that, with the, you know, with the stuff off banana skin. People don't realise how powerful they are, you see. So it's a little battle in the drugs world as well, you know what I mean? It's like my little statement in the world. It's like, I can eat a few bananas and I'll have a laugh, you know what I mean? I'll be happy then, like. I haven't had a drink tonight, by the way. I've been, my ulcer keeps trying to sort of, you know, I did have some drinks the other night, like I'm testing my ulcer. Man, oh man, I'm all right at the moment though. Yeah, what's to say? No, it's yeah, we are definitely talented, aren't we? You know what I mean? We've got the abilities. Me and Phil should get a band together, shouldn't we? We'd be like a super group, wouldn't we? You know what I mean? It'd be like, man, we'd be bigger than Oasis, wouldn't we? It's the only thing that could be bigger than Oasis. So anyone watching, you know, if you want to order, anyone puts in the comments section. Obviously, any relatives, you get these for free. You know what I mean? Anyone wants any of these pictures to put on the wall, like. But I'll send like signed pictures all over the world if people get back to me and that, like, because this film is going to be huge. You know, even Bruce Lee's in on it, mate. You know, emotional content. Emotional content. It's like a finger pointing at the moon. Don't look at the finger or you miss all the heavenly glory. We're going to rescue Brandon as well while we're at it as well. That's another mission and that, like. Yes, you and Phil need to get together because that would be great. We shouldn't we? We've got to do something, haven't we? We'll wait till all this crap ends and that, like, and man, it would be mind blowing, I think. I don't even know what it would be, like a super group. Is your old man still playing the drums, Ava? Let's do it, man. That's like the Partridge Family. The Partridge Family. Okay, I'm getting off now. I'll have me pumpkin. Here's another recommendation: pumpkin seeds. Get some pumpkin seeds in your system. Brilliant. You have good dreams. Pumpkin seeds. I've been eating pumpkin seeds. And raisins. I eat lots of raisins. So it keeps me regular. My bowels. I'm 55 years old. Oh, cool. Well, there you go. We might have a drummer, mightn't we? It's never too late, is it? You know what I mean? When's he going to post it? Has he got a... Hey, Ava, tell him to do a drum solo and post it on YouTube. Listen, man. do a whole band and that, like. Like a minor bird, or like, you know, or magpies. Have you seen magpies on YouTube doing impersonations? They're mad. Have you seen the magpies talking on YouTube? And they do like, they do people's laughs and everything. They go, and like humans and stuff. If magpies can do that with the beaks, man, imagine what they can do with the thoughts if they, you know, to mess with people's heads. You know what I mean? Naughty magpies. Imagine if I do a tune with my mouth, right, and I get a copyright strike. I get a copyright strike because I've done that, like. It's weird, man. You can't even play chords. You know, if you play a chord that sounds like someone else's song. People actually, there's people on YouTube, right? They put their own original music on YouTube, their own songs, right? And then the video gets blocked. And there's someone in India or someone claims they wrote the song or something, you know what I mean? And it's just similar, you know, because it's a similar song and they've copyrighted it and that, right? Now, every one of my original songs I've posted on YouTube has never been confused with a famous song. So that says a lot, doesn't it? You know, the algorithm doesn't mix any of my original songs up with anyone else's famous, right? But it spots all my cover versions, you know what I mean? The YouTube algorithm, it's like, boom, it spots them straight away. And yet, when I do my own songs, it could very easily mix my songs up with someone else's song, couldn't it? And go like, copyrights, this song is not, you know, this belongs to someone else. I'm like, if you don't mind, I wrote that like in 1985 or something, you know what I mean? But the possibility, you know, the chances of two songs being exactly the same, someone playing the same chords or something, it's always there, isn't it? But the fact that no one's argued or contested any of my songs as being ripped off shows how original I really am, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I sound very traditional, you know what I mean? It's nothing mind-blowing or obscure going on, but I've not been confused with any famous records or anything, you see, so that's what you call original songwriting, isn't it? I'm actually, my tunes must be proper original, you know, the entire tunes from beginning to end. Because honestly, we're in a world today where you play a couple of notes and if they sound familiar, you get blocked, videos get blocked. Alright, we're over 2.5 hours. It's been a long stream. What are we on now? It's been a good one tonight, hasn't it? I've had a bit of fun, like. What are we on? Yeah, it's 11:30. It's time to get my head down. Well, sort of get prepared. Wind down for sleep. But see, I can't wait to go to sleep. Honestly, what a world I'm living in. I absolutely can't. Every night I can't. Remember my dad used to say, a chance to dream, per sleep, per sleep. Or was it a chance to sleep, per dream? A chance to dream, per sleep, per sleep. Remember that? He used to always say that, didn't he? A chance to dream, you know what I mean? I'll be thinking, what's that all about? Why is my dad? Well, he can't wait to go to sleep, can he? I play the triangle if you ever need me for your band. Is right. I'll buy you a thing, even a proper quality tambourine, you know what I mean? Tambourine, you know what I mean, with like a sort of like a hammer, so you can batter anyone in the audience that says we're crap, like the Partridge Family. All right, you going to bed? All right, yeah. Night Bruce, night Ava. A chance to sleep, per chance to dream. That's it. Yeah. Are you actually going to bed, Julie? Saying that like because you're going to bed? Right. Well, I'm getting off myself anyway. So anyway. Anyone else who's watching? We've got 4 watching at the moment. So yeah, I'll get this posted up and published, etc. Oh man, you know when you close these down, you finish. You got to go onto your channel, type the titles in, type a description if you got a description. Oh, I hate doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get on with my creativity, and doing these kinds of things. You know, like we actually got to control things. And studio, you know, when I'm using Cubase, it's a pain in the ass. I hate doing it, like. Alright, anyway, I'm getting off, and I'm getting back to work on my banana story if I can. So, brilliant live stream, Bruce, a proper laugh. Is right. If we can make each other laugh, that's what we need, and especially nowadays. Now the world's, we're all going into a spaceship, aren't we? Alright, I'm getting off. Thanks for watching, everyone. All 4 of you. The playback says 26 at the moment, and I still haven't published it. This has been played back 26 times already. Alright, night Bruce, night Julie, have a great night, thanks. Okay, I'll see you all soon, and yeah, we'll all get together and have a drink at some point in the future. We need to chill. Alright, I'm getting off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nighty night, and I will be back very soon.